that myself in past months.
Who's DM?
Who's DM? No, he said direct message. He goes, "Oh my God, who's he talking to? Some fan he didn't know." Oh my God, I'm guessing. He goes, "I'm glad we got rid of him." That was it for Tyler Hero. Right?
I think he's of the
Like,
Bill
oh my
Belichick
God.
face snap and whatever Belichick would make fun of all these things. Pat's the same thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't want anything to
Yeah,
do
I
with that
agree.
stuff.
He had nothing to do with this, to
No.
your point.
No.
But
it was a mistake. He's reaching across for coffee, hit the return on his computer probably, and boom, oh my God, what happened?
something like that, probably, right?
I'm sure.
There's
it's
no
something
way
like that.
if you're going, let me just jump on this on my own. It's all set up. Everybody knows. I can get my name out. Nobody do that. You got to know, like, there's a chance this could cost me my job.
But the Heat are being clowned internationally. The Winnipeg Jets put out their social media creator put out a notice saying our introductory press conference July 27th with LeBron is, and it has a picture of LeBron in a Winnipeg hockey jersey.
Hey man, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
You're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh about
laugh.
it. What else can you do? You think LeBron really cares about that? You think
No.
this enters? Oh, they did what? Oh, that's stupid. Whatever. That's not going to change anything.
I think he's probably saying the same thing when he's meeting like Pat Riley. He didn't care about that. He doesn't even know what's going on. He never goes down when he's done. Now, we'll tell you what Pat does do. He polices what everybody says on the radio. I know that for a fact.
And I'm sure
I've lost guests.
I'm sure he's talked with
Said, Pat, is there anybody left that you're not going to call after they come on? Please stop.
I'm sure he's talked to the social media creator by now, or he's had somebody talk to him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That didn't go. They jumped on that. They're all scared of what Pat was going to say. Like, where the hell did that come from?
Well, the other thing, somebody put out there, and I assume it's not true, but a help wanted ad for a social media creator for the Miami Heat.
Oh,
it was.
That was a hint. Like fired.
Yeah,
Well, you definitely got your.
Never wish that.
You definitely got your hand slapped. You can't go, hey, like you said, I was just going through stuff and I hit the wrong button there, and I apologize. I didn't even know it was out there, but I'm guessing they're going, well, you're working at the highest level. That can't happen. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll know who it is, and honestly, I'm not one to go around trying to get everybody fired from jobs. From
the best thing that could happen for that person, LeBron makes his decision now, today, and picks the Heat.
Yeah, because it's going to come back, and somebody will add it on, going, see, he's probably going to come, and that stupid person that was doing that, and you're going, come on, man, stop it. LeBron's not making his decision off that. He might be making his decision on somebody getting Kyrie Irving or Anthony Davis, the two guys he wants to play. Somebody had that.
That's sort of the new theory.
That's
that he's waiting. He's waiting. Meanwhile, Rich Paul's saying Rich Paul has said on this daily podcast, we're not waiting for anything. Teams,
but everybody keeps coming up with stuff.
And they have to talk about it, right?
And then his agent comes out, who's also one of his best friends he grew up with. And he's going, no, that's not the case. And then they're going, well, he doesn't want to play with James Harden. He's going, no, James Harden's a really good player. And they go, nah, come on, man. Does LeBron look like he's a James Harden guy? So I don't know. I don't know what it is, but he's going to do it on his own time. He's not worried about the schedule. Sorry, Adam Silver, but we still got a little juice here. I saw somebody try to write an article saying, LeBron doesn't have the same juice he used to have. And they said if it did, these guys would get a Kyrie Irving trade done, and Cleveland and Anthony Davis would be right now with Golden State, knowing that could get it done. And I'm thinking, he's got a lot of teams that want him. He's got a lot of juice. He's got a lot of people calling, we want him. What's it going to take? What can we do that won't blow up our team? Let us know. For 41 years old,
I mean, to say he doesn't have the juice. Of course he doesn't. He in 2010 with the decision, he was the best player in the league. He's maybe right there in the argument of the best of all time. 5-10 years ago. But he's still a game. He's still a player everybody wants on their team.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, if he was to go and put it out there, everybody's going to make a call. Hell, San Antonio's going to make a call. Right? I mean, San Antonio, probably a good piece for them. Probably a pretty good piece for them if they could get rid of a veteran player that had a terrible finals, they probably take them. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff here on a Thursday to get to. Kim Bokamber will join us a little bit later on. He likes to come in on Thursday and jump in on the party. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of Dolphin stuff to get to here today. Marlins lose again last night. Swept for the third straight series. I swear, I couldn't have been more wrong. We had the skipper on before he left, and I was like, God, man, it's just, you're 10 or 11 games over 500, and they're going, oh my God, it's just, it looks so good the way you're doing it. You're playing clean baseball, timely hits. You're getting some home runs. Pitching's been great. 1, 2, and 3 have been great. Even the guys in the 4 and 5 slots have been solid. Relief pitching. I mean, it was just like, this is great looking baseball. It's the great month they had, best month in the history of the franchise. Now we get to July, and it's on its way to being one of the ugly Julys of all time.
And it's not like Houston is a great team.
They're not even a 500 team yet.
Milwaukee's pretty good, but
Milwaukee's real good.
The Guardians before the break, they're a good team, but to lose 9 straight, and
these guys played home run derby on them again last night, back-to-back home runs, 8 home runs in the 3-game series, including this Jordan Alvarez, who is
But here they had the bases loaded in the first inning, top of the first, bases loaded, and Griffin Conine hits one 391 feet. That's
difference in the game.
There you
Grand
go.
slam or now.
Griffin Conine is quietly, and because he's been hurt in and out, but he leads the team in OPS. I mean,
I got to tell you,
he's
whether they're going to DH him, I don't mind him in the outfield. He's got a really good arm, by the way. Jeff's son is really a good ball player. I didn't know how good he's going to be, and he's been, I'm sure, frustrated with his use, and he got injured, and that didn't help the thing because he had some great catches before he injured himself last year on the fence. But
they were hesitant to bring him up. It seemed like organizationally for whatever reason, because he was putting up good numbers.
Yeah.
But they have their own way of doing things. But now he's up, so he's one of the there are a lot of bright spots on the Marlins.
Got a great catcher. Got a catcher. I think catcher of the future. Isn't that funny? A year ago we were talking about a power hitting catcher that had to get better defensively, and I don't know if we got a spot for him.
No, not anymore.
He might never play for the Marlins again.
No.
The way Joe Mack has been playing.
He had another RBI last night, Joe Mack.
Yeah.
So
he's
I mean, the question was his hitting, and he's hitting very nice.
He's doing a great job. And he hit a bomb a couple of nights ago that we're still trying to find. But meanwhile, saying all the nice things, they've lost 9 straight and open up 3-game series with San Diego starting tomorrow. And they're 52-51. It's gone. And not that they're way out of the wild card. Jamie said this yesterday. They're still in great shape. Problem is there's a lot more teams now that have jumped in the party that are a game out or even. And just got to start winning games. San Diego Contra was not bad last night. And then
till the 8th.
The back-to-backers late.
He came in 90. He'd thrown 97 pitches. I was curious. I didn't watch the end of the game.
What's he on, 100 pitch count? Everybody's got this pitch count.
It's so funny. Like they limit everyone else. Like they don't let Yuri go out and finish his perfect game. And they've done this thing for other pitchers earlier in the season. But for Sandy, it's like they go on the opposite.
Well, he's proven. He's leads the majors in innings pitched. He's proved he's a workhorse. Perez has proved he gets hurt a lot. So, I mean, I understand the thinking, but to your point, where is the line?
You're right. The line is you got to have one Tommy John surgery, and then you come back, and all right, probably, now you're good.
Yeah. But he leads the majors in innings, at least as of 2 nights ago he did. I assume he still does.
Well, so anyway, we've got all that going on. By the way, anybody check out Carson Beck's
contract?
You're going to take a little cut money.
Pay cut. That is the weirdest thing, isn't it? A big pay cut. What was it?
This is taking a while to get used to, Dave, is these quarterbacks, and there's probably going to be 5 or 6 of them, maybe more, who are really good college quarterbacks, and we'll see how good they are in the NFL. I just call them really good college quarterbacks right now. They're going to take a cut and pay. We call it the Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers, we figured made maybe with everything almost in bonuses and for starting 3 games, which, by the way, for a 7th-round pick to get a chance to start 3 games on an NFL team is fantastic. But with everything, probably made under $1 million total. Signing bonus for a 7th-round pick's not a lot of money. Base salaries, not a lot. So, meanwhile, Carson Beck's at last year making over $4 million plus bonuses for playoff games.
Well, what do you think Carson Beck? Wait a second. I'm in the NFL at 4 years.
He's going, damn.
$7.4 million.
$1.8 million signing bonus for a 3rd-round pick. He's going, damn, I guess this.
I could have stayed at Miami.
To joke. It was so funny. I remember Jackie Shipp came in and got drafted by Oklahoma when they were a powerhouse. And they were and don't take this wrong if you're from Oklahoma. They're known as being a dirty team, would give money under the table, to players. And you kind of know. And so Jackie was a 1st-round pick. Didn't work out. Actually a bust did not play well at all. And they used to tell him, hey, Jackie, how you doing, man? Taking such a big cut and pay here to come play for the Dolphins. And, oh, man, it's not true. And come on, Jackie. Everybody knows you go to Oklahoma, you're making good money. So, yeah, they used to have fun with him. I don't know why. Just they knew that to everybody, but they did it to him because Oklahoma at the time had a reputation of whatever it takes to get the boys to go to Oklahoma, all of them, man, and get rolling there when they were dominating. So anyway, we've got plenty of Dolphin stuff to get to here today, and we're going to come back in just a second and set it up. Listen, there's going to be a lot of articles out. There've been a lot out over the last 6 weeks about this team, and it's John Eric Sullivan time, passing it to his head coach. But this first draft is an important one, man. You got to build it, and he's got to hit on a high percentage of these players going forward with this huge draft class, one of the largest in the history of this franchise, 13, especially since they've had 7 rounds, to hit on a lot of these players. It just can't be a story of 1st-round players and a 2nd-round player, which you have, 2 1s and a 2. But it needs to have, as we talked about yesterday, some more guys. So we'll talk a little bit about that and how important this is, not only for the head coach to get the most out of these guys, but to get some guys with talent in lower rounds. I'm coming around, Omar, if you're up this morning. I'm coming around. We've got to go to break. Got a lot, man. Big show. Tyreek Hill update as well. Right now, though, I want to talk to you about hurricane season. It's time to call Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. Their windows, Hurricane Category 5 rated. Loctite Impact provides 100% financing with 0 down, no interest, no payments for 1 year. You got no leaky roof, replace your old roof now. You can pay later. Plus, they got roofing repairs, part of their company now that they do. You want to get through this hurricane season and you got the blue tarp still on, get rid of those things. Call those guys. Let them patch it up for you. And the best part, Impact Windows as low as $6 per month per window installed. Don't wait for the next storm. Get a deal of a lifetime today with Loctite. Let them protect your home, whether you're in Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach. It doesn't matter. They're covering all of South Florida with all the great products that you need. So call today, 954-500-LOCK. They got a great staff ready to answer all your questions and get the process started. They do everything from start to finish. Go to LoctiteImpact.com and you can learn more. Chev, the CEO over there, would love to do business with you.
560 WQAM conduct.
Welcome back, and good morning to everybody out there as we're moving on, man. We are moving on. Day 3, rookie camp for the Miami Dolphins. Veterans will report next week. LeBron James news, really nothing new as everybody continues with conspiracy theories on what might happen, especially after yesterday. And Big Perk took the bait. Man, there's no way that he didn't do that on purpose, man. They had that thing leaked out because they know they're getting them, man. And the other guys are laughing, going, "Oh, Perk, come on, man."
I saw that clip, and it was like, what are you talking about? I get.
Perk goes, "That doesn't happen, man. There's no way that's happening under Pat Riley's wife." Like, you're right. Pat Riley's not around. And I'm guessing the one part of that organization, to your point, Pat Riley is not following social media at age 80. He has no interest at all unless it F's it up like it just happened.
And he's not. LeBron's coming. Oh, let me call our media creator so we can get that ready. That's never going to happen.
That's not one when something happens and people put their phone up to catch it thinking we're going to get a lot of views on this with two people going at something crazy happening.
Pat's thinking, how can this go wrong in the next 6 days that LeBron might not come here? We gotta make sure now that he said it that he's coming, right? So
you just off the record here. Now off the record. Think that social media person got fired from the Heat?
I hope not. I have no idea. I hope not, though. What do you think?
I don't know. Have to come from the top. Oh, there's a lot of people.
He or she is not sleeping well. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Joining us old folk who don't sleep well.
Don't say that. You'll probably slept like I've been sleeping and you've been sleeping, Dave. That's not good, man. That's not good at all. Hey, so we were talking about the Miami Dolphins and John Eric Sullivan a little bit, general manager of the Miami Dolphins. First draft and now 13 draft picks. A large draft class where a lot of those guys, this draft can't just be about your 2 number 1 picks, your second round pick, Jacob Rodriguez. You got 3 threes you got to get something out of. Really, we haven't talked much about any of the 3 ones. We're not going to know anything about if this year in the second half in Chris Bell, the wide receiver out of Louisville, but they got a lot of other draft picks after those first 3 round picks, 3rd round picks. So they got to hit on these guys.
For them to set the course of this new regime and to get where they want eventually, this has to be the best draft class in 30 years. And that sounds like, oh my God, what a big
you're not
statement.
saying all 13. Nobody's going 13 for 13.
No, but they've had some bad drafts over the last 30 years. They've only had a couple where you'd say that's a good draft.
We've had some bad drafts.
And you throw in the size of this. They haven't had 13 in a draft class since Jimmy in 1997 when they drafted Util Green, Sam Madison, and Jason Taylor. And, Util Green got hurt.
I was there the day he was running takeoff down the middle of the field and was actually having a really good camp. He was a talented guy, but he was hurt a lot. And that was it. He destroyed his knee.
Yeah, but then you got a perennial Pro Bowl cornerback and a Hall of Famer. So
and more than makes up for it when you got 2 guys that good.
So other than that, Joe, think back on these drafts. And we talked about this a little yesterday.
I did. I said Chris Greer's one of his first draft classes. I'm always fair in this show for people that I blast a lot. Laramie Tunsil, 1st round pick. He was a good player. Listen, we got rid of him, but he was really good. He's still one of the best left tackles in football.
That was one of those fortunate things in the draft, right? I mean,
it doesn't matter.
I get it. But
you can't put.
No, you can't say that was. He was supposed to go like 1st, 2nd, 3rd overall, and then the video came out
with the mask,
and the Dolphins took advantage of, all the confusion over that.
Yeah, somebody that was mad at him in his life. I think it was somebody his mom was dating or somebody. It was a crazy story. Let me continue on, though. Besides, Tunsil's still really good and one of the highest paid tackles in football. Xavier Howard, 2nd round pick.
Great pick.
One of the great 2nd round picks in the history of this franchise. Kenyon Drake was 3rd round pick and really good. A little temperamental at times, but had talent and is involved in one of the greatest
Miami
plays.
Miracle.
Matter of fact, he signed 7 or 8 pictures for me. I had him signed. I'd gotten them and sent them to him, and he sent them back. So, and Jakeem Grant was also in there, who ended up being a nice 6th-round pick. Omar went after him a lot, but he and Omar, I thought, were going to have
he's a Pro Bowl special teams player one year. So
can
I
fly.
mean, yeah.
And he had a little bit of success as a receiver. Yeah. So that's kind of, I think that was a 4 for 8 draft.
But that's the best the Dolphins have done in 30 years. That 2016 draft.
So we loaded up for a couple of those drafts during the rough times. We had 3 first-round picks one year, not too many years ago, and honestly, we didn't get enough out of that. And I think we had 2 second-round picks that year as well. And you're thinking, wow, you got to hit on these 5 picks. You've got to hit on these 5 picks, and we didn't. We didn't hit on them. And you move up to get one of those second-round picks, and you just look back, and then some of them got hurt. It's not their fault. Some of them got injured. Some we just flat out took the wrong guy. And you know what gets me is so I am aware of some of the history and behind the scenes stuff that I've not been allowed to use through the years. And it's really even more frustrating than our fan base thinks it is sometimes when you hear things and you're like amateur hour for some of these things. But now we got a fresh start, and I don't know, man. We keep saying this. Is it doable to have a better draft? And somebody says, oh, you put too much and you realize you can't hit on every pick. And I go, I understand, but we're not getting enough out of where guys are drafted. We don't ever have a guy that's a 5th-round pick. I mean, we've had some, so we know what they look like through the years, the history of the franchise.
Well, Zach Thomas was a 5th-round pick.
A great one.
I mean, there are some good.
We had a safety that played here for a long time that was really good.
Jeremiah Bell, 7th.
Jeremiah Bell was a really good pick with the leg, and just he was a fantastic story.
But
tackling machine.
But like 2020 draft became the defining point of this past regime that didn't work out. The Tua draft, the Noah Igbenogany and Austin Jackson in the 1st round. This draft will go a long way towards defining who these guys are.
You know, Austin's an interesting one because he's still here and he got a 2nd contract. But he did start at left tackle and it didn't work out.
And then he played guard.
And they tried him inside. And then he got in a right system where he does, and give Mike credit. Give Mike McDaniel credit.
No,
Mike fell into the system. He goes, we're not – that's one thing, again, I said this about Mike yesterday, and I'm not saying I want Mike to be the head coach, and I was over it. But it was a good read on things that he does best that we could make him do a really good, solid right tackle when he's healthy.
Yeah, he's
now we got that problem.
Which he hasn't been the last 2 years.
So that's been a problem.
Which is why he's on a 1-year contract now. But the point is, if he can stay healthy, he'd be an average tackle, which you would take. But you know, with all the high picks they had this year, you need to look back and say that this was a nice draft.
Well, it doesn't do any good to have 13 picks and go, wow, we hit on 3 of them. 3 been really good, and one's a special teams guy. 4 of 13 guys, we're in great shape. You're going, no. We need if we're going to catch up to the rest of the NFL, we can't keep this rotation. And by the way, I just think there for a while we lost our confidence of drafting because we weren't very good at it. So we started trading picks for guys to come in that were high maintenance.
Do you realize they have in 2022 and 23, they had 4 picks each. So they had 8 picks, whereas they have 13 this past year.
Yeah.
So this is
the way you got to do it, though.
Yeah. No. Well, the way they're going,
you can't do it through trading for everybody's disgruntled former player that's really talented.
I agree with you, but every new regime when they come in here says we're going to build through the draft. Right?
They do.
They every single one, and then they draft and they go, maybe we're not going to build through the draft anymore. We'll try something else.
Well, you start feeling pressure as a GM, and you go, wow, I missed on this guy, missed on that guy, so now should have starting corners. I drafted high. Yeah, I got a couple offensive linemen. Oh, shoot, they haven't worked out. We got to bring a guy in, bring him through free agency, trade for a guy, trade him, and that's what we did. And that's what we did. But the fundamental way, financially responsible way to do it, and these guys come from one of the poster childs of that belief, the Green Bay way. So whatever you think of the Green Bay way, and I got, what have they won? Well, I'll tell you what, they've won a lot of games, a lot more games than we have through the years. But let me just say, the draft, hey, they were big on drafting and weren't big free agents. The knock on them was, hey, you never go through free agency unless they get the right guy. Now, they went out, got one of the best players in football from the Dallas Cowboys. But they know how it needs to be done. These guys have both been through that. I think we need that.
Well, here's the Green Bay.
How many do you need to be healthy? How many of those guys, 13? I mean, we need to hit on one of those wide receivers. Got to be a big-time player.
No, the best wide receiver on the team is hurt.
That's okay.
I mean, and that's fine. They draft him. They got a bargain on him. You know, he was discount because he was hurt. And if he misses this year or comes back late in the year, that's fine. But we're talking the Green Bay way. Here's how it makes sense for the Dolphins. John Schneider, Seattle, the GM, grew up in the Green Bay way. Elliott Wolf of the New England Patriots, the GM, grew up in the Green Bay way. In fact, he's Ron Wolf's son. They were the Super Bowl teams this year because they built that organizationally the Green Bay way. Yeah. So that's the model for the Dolphins to now. You can overdo the Green Bay way. They won one Super Bowl with Brett Favre and they won one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers.
That's true.
Whereas Tom Brady won 6 in New England. So I mean, there are limits of praise for the Green Bay way, I think, but
they've still done a lot more.
They've done a lot more winning than
we have.
And the best thing about what the Dolphins did this year, we've talked about this, is they went out and they said, we're going to prioritize the general manager. Whoever's picking the personnel, he's the guy we're going to get first and let him build his organization.
Well, that was the best thing. You're right. You just hit number one. We can't go, okay, you're the GM, but you got to keep this guy, that guy, this guy. And can you get a little more out of this quarterback because you're going to have him and no, they did it the right way. You're right. Can't have.
He rebuilt the front office. I think it's 10 out of the 19 people in the front office are new.
But he gave everybody a chance. Of course, during that time, your hands were tied a little bit. So he goes, let me sit back. I'm going to oversee these guys and see what I like and I don't like. And so anyway, well, more on that coming up here. But before we do, as we said, the Marlins are off today. Oh, boy, 9 straight losses. Coming back home for 6. Huge. They've been a lot better at home. Huge couple of series coming up, man. If you're looking to go to a baseball game, getting ready to play the Padres, 3 games starting tomorrow. And then the Phillies will be in town for 3 games as well. So some big baseball games, 6-game homestand coming up for you if you want to get out there. And we got some great deals going on we want to tell you about. You can join the Marlins for a special Venezuelan Heritage Celebration presented by Santa Teresa as part of the T-Mobile Heritage Series. That's this Saturday, 4:10 start. Each ticket includes an exclusive jersey with a portion of the proceeds benefiting Venezuelan relief efforts. So it's a good one to go to if you want to get something kind of special and help out a great cause. Then you catch the Fighting Fish against the Padres. You can get your tickets today at marlins.com/Venezuela. And then we might as well jump right ahead because the Marlins for the Philly series will have the 2 for $25. You can score 2 tickets plus 2 canned beers for just $25. And they got the 4 for $44 going, which is, man, that's one of the best ones they've had for years now. Presented by Pepsi. You get 4 tickets plus 4 hot dogs, popcorn, and drinks, all for $44. Not a bad deal at all. So, hey, go to marlins.com/tickets. 6 games coming up for the Marlins at home.
Baseball
Good morning to everybody. No word on LeBron. No word on LeBron. Hell, we had more fallout yesterday still from social media creator and what's going to happen and whether you think that. By the way, we had a lot of people text yesterday. They thought there was something to it. Oh, they got him. They know they got him. They're just waiting for that date that works.
We have a social media creator here. Why didn't we put out something about LeBron coming to QAM? What do you think, Jamie? Just
introductory press conference. LeBron James signs with QAM Monday, July 27th.
What do you think? Is that too close to home here to the home team to stick it?
Oh, that would cause some problems. Yeah.
You think I'd get fired?
No, but that would yes, you'd be in some trouble. Yes, you would. I had to think about it. I get called in to see if I had anything to do with it with you, because I
Don't
get
put me up to it. I had nothing to do with
exactly.
it.
Exactly.
I didn't mean to put it out there.
But I got to tell you, they'd be calling our general manager, who they have a good relationship with. The Heat and this radio station have a really good relationship, the best of any team, if I can say that. And that would be an issue. Right from the top.
But it was kind of cheeky. The Winnipeg Jets put it out there that their LeBron press conference.
I got to tell you, it got a lot of yap. There it is. It got a lot of yap yesterday. Got a lot of yap on the shows, man. We got to do something LeBron because he still hasn't signed. And so we don't know anymore. I do feel good, though. The guys go, what do you think? And I go, for what I think, just watching everything, I feel pretty good about
it. The Heat are the best fit basketball-wise, organization-wise, and
I think all those things. I think Spo, I think Bam and Giannis. I just stop with those two, but he's looking at the rest of the roster, obviously. But Bam, Giannis, Spo, and I think he also knows, when I was here, they went out and got extra pieces that we needed. We got shooters. They had some great shooters on those.
That's
teams.
what I don't understand the conversation. Oh, they need shooters. They need shooters. You realize Bobby Portis was second in the league last year in three-pointer.
I think they like Bobby Portis a lot.
Tim Hardaway was
Timmy had a good year.
23rd, and Wiggins was 13th in three-point shooting. So they have three of the top 23 three-point shooters in the league last year. So they have. It's not like they're bereft of three-point shooting the way the conversation.
They had some guys around the big three. If you go back and look, they had some guys could knock down threes.
They were constantly getting them. Shane Battier, there's one. You can just go around and
Mike Miller.
They were great at picking up role players for the big three. Although
by the way, the guy they got from Boston wasn't bad either.
Yeah, that's true. Ray Allen,
one of the greatest greatest 3 or 4 3-point shooters of all time.
Although the conversation between LeBron and Riley after they lost the first, remember they lost to Dallas the first year, and LeBron, Riley described him as a homeless person, the way he looked, because he just stayed in his house for 2 weeks and depressed, and Riley met him, and Riley's message was, I need to get you more. I need to get you more to surround you with. And that's when they got Ray Allen and because he went there.
Yeah, James Jones, another. I was thinking all the great 3-point shooters. We had a bunch.
But that'll be the same this year if LeBron comes. There's the talk is he wants to play 2 more years.
Okay.
So that
we can do that.
They would have a second off season really to fortify whatever they need, and so. And he knows that the Heat do that. So if it comes down to a fit basketballically, the Heat are the thing. Now, if it's personally he wants to go home or stay on the West Coast to be close to his family, the Heat can't compete with that.
Let me tell you, if all 3 phases of this thing work, 1 is done in Giannis, 2 would be to get LeBron here, and Giannis can be one of the biggest reasons. Giannis may be number 1 while he's coming because he's all right. Bam's got. Now we got 2 guys I like. And the third one would be what follows LeBron here to be a piece of this. If they get that done, what a friggin' turnaround from what they had a year ago across the board. Oh, we do this time. We never had this many first-round guys that we drafted on the team. We're just going to keep developing them, and they're all going to be really good players. wrong.
Well, they developed him to the point they could trade him for Giannis.
They did.
So, and what else could they say? It was a tough team to watch.
But they
times.
did have enough pieces. The Milwaukee said, Khalil Ware, Tyler Hero coming home, Jaime Jaquez, almost 6-man of the. Okay, we got some pieces here. So anyway, and a bunch of ones.
But I agree with you that Giannis is the number one reason for all the talk we talk about Riley and the organization. That's very important, obviously, but Giannis is number one, and I would think more than Riley, Giannis, or equal to Riley, Giannis is the recruiter of LeBron, talking to him, because they would be the centerpiece of what's going on here.
Well, I got to tell you, it would be, man, it'd be standing ovation for stuff for Pat Riley. And
what a turnaround for him, huh? From
wow,
the conversations the last couple of years, too old.
You have to step back and go, who turned this roster from last year to this year around like that? If all these pieces happen, of course, because now you're not just out of that play-in thing or play-in thing. Play out was what we did. You're looking at being one of the best, if not the best team in the East, if you can stay healthy and manage your guys right, which Spo will do. It'd be a hell of a story, man, and a great look for this front office going, they did it again. I'd say I call this part 4. This would be part 4 for Riley.
Riley could win.
Zoe Hardaway is part 1. I'm not doing the Jimmy Butler part, just so you know. I'm not doing a Jimmy Butler.
They went to 2 finals.
I'm not doing
two
that.
finals.
I'm not doing that.
You're cutting them out. You're erasing them from history.
Shaq and D Wade, the big 3. I can't do it. I can't do it. He quit on us. The guy quit on us. He didn't gain weight. He quit on us.
He had 5 great years, and then 2 bad ones, or 1.5 bad ones.
You know what? You sound just like Woody. And the next thing you're gonna know is you'd be down here drinking his coffee and seeing if he's in town to have a coffee with him, seeing if he'll sign something for one of your grown kids.
I did have a coffee once at his place there. I was looking for.
I didn't like the coffee. yeah, the coffee at the tennis tournament. And they go, hey, you want one of those coffees? What was the name of it? Big
something. Yeah,
Big face coffee. Oh,
yeah,
because he got his coffee in the tennis tournament. I go, no, I can't drink it. I go, why? I go, no, I can't. Can't drink this guy's coffee.
Well, you can't erase him from history, Joe. You just can't say we're going to skip over those years.
You can't do that.
You have to be able to separate the player from the coffee maker.
I'm gonna have to let it go at some point. There's some things I'm gonna have to let go. There's no question. I know people remind me all the time.
But how about Riley? He would be going for a championship if they contend, and he would be going for a championship in 5 decades. If that's remarkable. He's the most interesting person in basketball history. Played with Lou Alcindor in high school. Played for Adolph Rupp at Kentucky.
Played with some of the greatest players in the history for a team that won 1 championship with the Lakers. No, it wasn't a shot. Yeah, they were a talented group. Played with Wilt, Jerry West,
and they played against
Elgin Baylor.
Played against a great Boston's dynasty. Bill Russell.
Gail Goodrich was one of my favorite players at UCLA. I love Gail Goodrich.
You know, Riley was called into Jack McCloskey's office, the general manager of the Lakers, and he said, "Do you want to stay on this team?" And he goes, "Yeah, of course I want to." He goes, "Okay, then your job is to practice hard because you're not going to play a lot." You know, he was a bit player.
Yeah,
you practice hard and make Jerry West, Gail Goodrich, and I forget the other guy, make them better.
Yeah,
and that's interesting.
The team was phenomenal. The documentary was on the other night again. It's always on, the Celtics and Lakers and going back and forth. And I saw it was the Jerry West mostly because the Jerry West documentary is a really good one. And I'm always interested in because he had his own demons and depression and things he dealt with. And he's pretty open about it that he did this towards the end of his life. And they had the highlights and every one of those losses to the Celtics just killed him. And
Riley and him seemed like kindred spirits competitively. Now, obviously, West playing careers, West was
Jerry West is really good too as a front office guy, phenomenal with different teams. And I was like, it's amazing they were together.
Yes,
it's just as coaches for the Lakers.
But how they wore losses, how they took losses,
Equally
like
would not want to be married to either one of those guys after a game.
I remember talking to Riley after one of the Nick losses
off season, maybe.
And remember those brutal the Allen Houston ball that went in and end of the season. And Riley stopped and talked to a few of his columnists afterwards, and then he said, "I'm going to go sit down and bleed for a while."
Yeah.
Sit down and bleed for a while. I'm sure he's still bleeding over those games.
I'll tell you what, Pat's done it all though, at every level, like you said.
Can he land this plane though? What do you think, Joe?
This would be, if he gets this LeBron deal, if it happens, this would be drop the mic. He doesn't need to. That'd be it. I mean, he can sit back and enjoy. By the way, it looks like he's not retiring anytime soon, by the way. I think he made that pretty clear to everybody when they're starting to question, are we coming back with the same guys? No, we'll be fine. So give him credit, man. Give Pat right. You give him credit. You're good about it, giving him credit for what he's done, and he's still real good. Dave Hyde with us this morning all day. Dan Day with us. Jamie's in with us. Kim Bocamper on his way in here as well this morning, and I want to tell you about Super Sure before we hit the 7 o'clock hour. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for that renewal. Your business runs all year, and so do the gaps and the risks. That's why I'm introducing Super Sure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just buy a policy online. Super Sure is a super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English so you get what's covered. You know exactly what's covered and what's not. Plus, a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform. All your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com, paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
The home of champions. Home of the 5-time national champion Miami Hurricanes. The back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. The 3-time NBA champion Miami Heat. Miami Hurricanes basketball. And now, the new home of the 2-time World Series winner Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Miami, we go to the beach for a little solcito, and when you want a low price, you save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai. Jordan Alvarez's 8th inning 3-run home run was enough to seal the deal for the Astros as they beat the Marlins 5-2, handing their 9th loss in a row. They have the day off. They're back in action tomorrow, 7-10 against the Padres. And in Miami, they defeated the Chicago Fire 3-2 last night. Former Canes quarterback Carson Beck signed a rookie deal with the Cardinals. He's in a 3-way battle with Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew. On to weather, brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Storm season is coming. Make sure your home is ready. Get your free roof and window estimate today. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Temperatures around 90. Chance of rain early in the afternoon. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Hey, welcome back here for the 7 o'clock hour. Man, speaking of the Miami Dolphins and this big draft class and getting these guys ready, and, of course, rookies day 3 today, and veterans will be in next week. Kim Bokamper's in with us. Dave Hyde also with us today all day. Dan Day and Jamie, whose Marlins get their 9th straight loss last night. Got the day off today, man, and then a big 6-game homestand coming up. Bo, good morning. We were just talking about John Eric Sullivan and how huge this draft class is if you can get this thing turned around.
It is, yeah. 13 picks. And you know, it's like any other draft. At the top, you look at the top and, these guys, these 3 or 4 guys.
They have to be good.
They got to be good. But, you know, there's look, jobs are wide open, right? You couldn't go to a better – if you're a young guy, if you're a free agent.
I've been on this kick,
If you're a UN, if you're an undrafted free agent, what better place to go? You're going to get opportunities to play.
Yes.
Because they've cleaned out all the veterans, most of the veterans that are where there's need. And so, yeah, I think, I remember, it's funny. I remember coming in and so I got drafted. When I got drafted, so we drafted a safety. Right from, I think it was Oklahoma or something. A safety, really, really good college career safety. I don't think it was. I think he maybe was from one of the Northeast schools. And so during training camp, he's playing pretty well. And but it was a 17-round draft. I think he was drafted like maybe in the 16th.
Always forget there were 17 rounds when you came in.
16th round or something.
Jeez.
And so he's buried in there. And so he's playing well, and all of a sudden next week he gets a collapsed lung. Something happened. Someone got a hit, and they put him in the hospital, and then they cut him. Right?
That was cold.
But no. But the point being, it turns out to be his name was Gary Fensick.
Oh,
he became the
Northwestern,
Northwestern, and he became an All-Pro with the Bears in that 40-60. So you don't know who's. Floating around in that bottom.
You get a right situation.
Exactly.
The way you play matches the play and get a second chance.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to tell the story of the meeting where one of the rookies said, "Nice clothes."
Oh, well,
to Phil Warrensburger.
I forget. He was a guy that came from Oklahoma, and he was a very good player. I forget his name, but so Arnsey went during training camp. Our training camps. Coaches wore whatever they want. Everyone wore whatever they want in the meetings, the late meetings and stuff. And so our first meeting, Orange comes in with these pants that I remember my dad used to wear, and they were like, they had like, I don't know, they were just odd. So this guy comes in, his name was Zach. I tell you, he was really good. He was like an All-American in Oklahoma. And so he says, "Hey, coach, nice clothes." The next day he wasn't in the meeting.
You couldn't say much, man. I'll tell you what. I just 1980 is a very intimidating group of coaches, and the whole situation. I mean, first of all, it's 45 and nothing else.
Yeah.
There's 45s a final. There's no practice squad. There's no hang around for a couple of days.
Yeah.
We might be calling you in. You go home and get a job,
Yeah,
and then maybe get a call as they needed you. And some guys, hey, what have you been doing, dude? Hey, man, it's great to see you back 2 months into the season. Goes, I was a school teacher. I was doing some substitute teaching. Great kids. Now the guy's running down on the kickoff team. You know, it was crazy compared to what we have. But hey, you know, and this is a great year, as you said, not only for the 13 draft picks, and because they're John Eric Sullivan's first draft, but also the free agents like Lewis Moore and Mason Reiger, Rene Conga, all those guys, defensive tackle, pass rusher, and a safety. Hell, everybody's talking about Lewis Moore as one of the best safeties, and we only saw him during camp. He's running around. So
it's going to be very interesting. And you know, it's funny because when I was on last week and I talked about having patience, you know.
Oh, that's not a good word.
No, I got a lot of blowback on that one. Man, we've been patient for 25 years.
See, here's how I
got that yesterday, and the guys redoing my Don Bailey's guys were out doing floors yesterday. How long we got to wait, Joe? And
I get it.
They finished. They're sweating full day in. Those guys were working their ass off. And hey, and I knew they wanted to talk. I knew they wanted to talk about the Dolphins. All right,
you know those guys that come in and want to talk.
Right, we know we got new guys.
Well, I know patience is the word, but I think
give
right
us
away,
another word so it sounds better. They don't like rebuild. So what else you have?
Here's what I would say. We're going to get
They want you to say they're going to make playoffs this year the first time out with these guys. That's what they want you to say.
Wow.
By the way,
but here's what I would say.
Don't you Omar it. I'm not.
No.
You're going to get a quick read on the regime right away. Look at 2020. They went the first draft: quarterback, tackle, cornerback. Right. Look what this regime did. And if they're going to be different, went out and got a quarterback. That was their big buy. The first pick was a tackle who's going to play guard. And the next pick, another first rounder, just like in 2020, was a cornerback.
Yeah.
Let's see all those be a difference. Yeah. Right. I mean, that'd be the statement. Okay, we are different.
So look, you know, I know fans and look, I understand it. I'm frustrated by watching this team over the last 25 years, you know, doing what they're doing. But still, and I understand saying try to be patient, but you know, you just look at the landscape. I'm telling you, it would be historic if this football team that goes into training camp on when they start next Wednesday or Thursday, with that team, you know, even broaches the playoffs. That would be historic, right?
Yes.
Yet, that's what the fans want us to say, hey, yeah, man, I think they're going to win 12 games.
This guy can do this. This guy will be able. This guy, if this guy makes a big jump, and I'm like, because Omar got in this, like, if this guy jumps, and this guy said, Omar,
that's silly.
The chances of all those guys making a big jump.
That's irresponsible. Let's start here. They're spending in the salary cap 38 cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody else is spending $1. They're spending in 38 cents. They're taking a big hit this year, and you can understand why.
Yeah.
But to then say, well, they should have a complete roster and compete 10 wins or 7. I mean, 4.5 wins. That's the overrun. That's a lofty number.
Peruse that wide receiver room a little bit right now, and go ahead and look at that secondary rooms, especially in the on the safeties,
edge rusher,
or edge rushers. Check into those rooms and tell me that they're going to win 10 games. It's just I'd be thrilled to see them win 10 games. But I think
it would be the greatest story in the history of this franchise.
It would be
if this team, with their circumstances that they've been put could win 10 games.
I think to get the over would be an achievement.
What's
to get 5 wins, 4.5.
I'm thinking in that area, 5, 6 maybe. If you're lucky, you know.
All I know is I don't want to go through what we did Brian Flores' first year. Those first 4 games. Those first 4 games.
I think that's coming. Well, the first game's against
the Raiders.
The Raiders are they had the number 1 pick.
Yeah,
so they're no good.
You stepped into
that'll be their best chance to win probably this year.
That's a soft landing right there.
What do you think the Raiders are saying?
Well, the problem is, I'd hate to say it. I would say that the Dolphins have a good chance to win that game because of how bad the Raiders were. However, if it was our team and we were going to Las Vegas to play the Raiders,
they're saying the same thing. Like, man, this is a team to start with.
No. I'm looking at it from the other angle. We'd have been out in the casinos on Friday night all night, sneaking out, this and that.
There was a lot of that.
Yeah, and probably we did. Yeah.
But do you think that would factor in the Raiders' decision to start Mendoza or not?
That's a great question.
They don't have a corner, but proven corner. They don't have an edge rusher. Their safeties
they're going to have a chance. They're going to have a chance to see the preseason tapes and see what they have back there. I mean,
right.
So let me ask you this: so, is it? Do we feel like it's a definite that Mendoza's starting for the Raiders?
It's not a definite.
All the word out of the Raiders, all the word is no. They're going to sit Mendoza, which we've seen a thousand times.
There's no way he's sitting all season. There's no way. He will be in there early. You didn't make a guy a first overall pick.
I mean, how many times have we heard this? So we're going to play the veteran.
Yeah.
Now, I guess
in the old days they made him wait, but in today's game, you're getting that guy ready to go as quickly as possible to play.
And you don't think the TV networks are let's get and the fans at some point are let's go. We want to see him.
I think he's great for business, period. I think he's great for business off season, during the season, giving $500,000 to Sylvester down here for his mom and for things that his mother's going
everything
through.
About him on and off the field is something you can market and sell and if you're a fan, buy into.
If there's a guy I want in Vegas, that's the guy I want. We're going out, not
the
me.
The most wholesome guy around is going to Sin City.
You need to be a pretty bitter person to go, I hope that guy gets his ass kicked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, what can you not root about for the guy? What can you not? I mean, what has he done?
Nothing. And by the way, he didn't get recruited by. I mean, he literally. He's had hard knocks the whole way. Like nobody wanted him. Ivy League school. Somebody from Cal finds out about him. He's third string quarterback there, sitting there, and then he gets a chance.
You know who first discovered
starts at the lower end of college football, going to Cal, only one step higher than San Jose State.
Hey. By the way, he might have got a chance to play. I don't know if they're still on their schedule. Maybe Cal played San Jose State when he was there.
I don't know.
Maybe. That was a mandatory game back when I was around. We had to play San Jose State. That was part of the schedule. Hey, we got to go to break here. But before we do, I wanted to mention this real quickly. Villa Italia Bakery. Bobby, thank you so much. Those coffee cakes. He sent cookies. He sent candies. The whole thing is fantastic. But, Bo, they're doing this thing. I wanted to mention this for everybody out there. The 1972 championship ring, when you make an order, not only you get 20% off, but you can get a car emblem or a keychain with Bo and Joe. I have them here. Either way, from the 1972 with this on the front of their championship ring with an order.
He sends it everywhere. So you can send it to villaitaliabakery.com. He sees you order it and it comes to your door. You have it and it's fresh as could be, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how it gets that to the door so fresh, but
biggest hit we've had, and the cakes have been fantastic.
Cookies are outstanding.
Cookies are really good with the coffee. And by the way, the coffee they have too. So,
Dave, you like biscotti, right?
I just like listening to you guys talk about the food.
Yeah.
Well, we love food, and by the way, their stuff and it stays fresh.
Hey, and if you put in the code BOJO, you get 20% off. Plus, you get your choice of the I think it's a keychain, and the other one's a big applique that you put in the back of your car, and it's a replica of the.
These have been real
Dolphins,
popular. Yeah,
replica
really
of the Dolphins Super Bowl ring. So
good stuff. All right, and
or you can get one that the season when we went 8-6 if you want to.
What about that 1-15 season?
You can get the 1-15 ring.
Oh, I was going to see if you wanted one of our Super Bowl 17 or 19 where we lost. You can get that one. Everybody's so proud to wear that thing. Hey, right now I want to talk to you about something else here, and thank you, Bobby, very, very much, brother. We appreciate everything you do. Summer's here, man, and I want to tell you about Dr. Barry and his team at Recovery Unplugged. Man, they have your back. I'm going to have Dr. Barry come on because a lot of guys are going through depression, anxiety, have got themselves knocked off the road a little bit. And, hey, man, it's time to start thinking about your own mental health. And they have a great program, a residential program in Fort Lauderdale. It's private. It's fantastic. you're going to get great results and start feeling a lot better. So you're in a funk right now, whatever it is, knocked you off the road a little bit. Depression from losing a job to relationship problems. Boy, they got great stuff. Comfortable space to really heal with music-based care that hits the right note. They accept most major insurance plans. Call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplug.com. Hey, this summer, while you're going through it or you know somebody going through it, hey, man, make that call to Recovery Unplugged or check them out, Recovery Unplugged, and find out more about them this summer. Heal out loud.
WQA.
And good morning to everybody, man. Football season has kind of started. The rookies around the National Football League are in camp, and the veterans on their way. Next week for the Miami Dolphins and a lot of other NFL cities will open up their camps. Everybody together for the first time, and boy, I'll tell you what, we've been talking about Kim Bokamper's with us, Dave Hyde, and talking about the situation with the Dolphins. I'll say this, man. If I was a young guy, you couldn't come into a better situation than the Miami Dolphins have. And I mean, I've been here, Bo, you've been here since the 70s. I've been here since 1980. I can never remember a better opportunity with a new GM and a new head coach and cleaned out the roster. And you got a whole bunch of guys with a whole bunch of open jobs. And I'm not just talking about guys making the team to play special teams. There are going to be guys going to get to playing offense, defense, and these different packages that they'll be putting together. And then, Bo, they got rid of what would have been a big distraction. And the last few years, we had this ongoing problem of guys pouting about their contracts and doing this. They're there, but it's clear they're not doing every drill because they didn't get their contracts done. And then they finally get them done. But your coach has to answer, and the players come on and answer. The price is what the price is, and hey, I want what's fair, and so you spend more time at camp worried about that, and he's going to talk today, and then you get away from all the distractions are gone with this group. They got Brooks' deal done, got a nice contract. Hey, he's happy with it. Achane got his, and Aaron Brewer got his done as well. And Patrick Pauls is coming up, but he knows not right now. He's going into year 3, needs a big year, and he'll get paid like a big-time left tackle next year.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I don't care if you're a free agent, that undrafted, whatever. Certainly all the draft. I mean, you would assume all the draft choices, maybe 1 or 2 don't make it out of 13, and
they'll end up on the practice squad.
They'll end up in this practice squad. So, but yeah, it's some of these. Like I said, some of these guys that they slip through the cracks. I mean, it was less slipping through the cracks, I think, when we were playing, because our training camps were so long. So you got to see, a lot of guys, but now, you don't want to either. We're going to see what happens with this regime coming in on the way they're going to play during the preseason games. What are you going to, when are you going to play the vets, or the so-called vets, or the people that, let's say, the people that are going to be starters for you. How much do you play them? How much you don't play them? And how much looks you give to the younger guy? If I'm a younger guy, I'd step in the front of the line every chance I could get. You want me to run down on kickoffs? I'll do it. You want me to do this? I'll do it. You want me to do that?
Camp is, like you said, though, so much shorter. Man, it was 6 weeks.
Yeah. They don't hit.
And you don't hit.
It's not just shorter. Your practices.
We had a rookie scrimmage against the Saints. These guys hadn't even been in camp. These guys were still out hanging out in bars and stuff, and we're up there and wherever we used to scrimmage against the Saints up in Dodger Town.
Up in Vero Beach.
Beach.
But don't you think there's the Yogi Berra line deja vu all over again? This is just like 2019, isn't it? Where they cleared out the whole roster and they said, we're all young guys. We're going to go all young guys. And they did. And it didn't hit. They missed too much on the drafts and on the young guys. These guys, what I love about them is they articulated their plan. We're going to build through the draft. They went out and they got 13 draft picks, and a lot of high, 5 or 6 in the top 96 or something like that.
Yeah.
They said we're going to clear out the dead wood of contracts. They did.
Yeah.
They said here are the 4 guys we think are that we want, that we really like. They signed 3 of them to contracts, and you mentioned Patrick Paul was the 4th, and he's not. They can't sign him until next year, but they've articulated their plan. If you've listened, and they followed that plan. Now we'll have to see if it works, but the first part is before I can never understand the plan. You had the front office saying, "Hey, we're tanking." You had the coach saying, "We're not tanking," and they both meant it. They both meant it.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like they're playing word games. The coach said, and he coached, "We're not tanking."
Yeah.
And so they're on the same page now, and we'll see if the plan works.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is I think they're willing to give these young guys opportunities. That they brought, like in the ones that they get, I think they want to get to a point where they're developing their own rookies, whether they're the draft choices that they've acquired, that the last 3 drafts, the people that came out of those drafts, their draft, and the free agents that come in, pinpoint those guys that they want to be here for 5 years. Because I think, it's hard, back in our day, we had no trades, there was really no free agency, so you could stay there for a long time. I think these days, in this age of football, if you're there for 5 years, that's a pretty long time to be with one team. But if you can get a team of young guys that grow up together in these 5 years, I think you got a chance for this team to accelerate to being competitive much faster than if you're going to do this, let's go get this guy that may have 2 more years left on his, on his contract, and he just wants a 401. I'll play 1 year.
The 401k program.
401k program.
Yeah, that's where you come in for a year. Yeah, get for a year.
Yeah, but I think they're going to rely on develop our rookies the way we want to develop them, and let's let that be the basis of what this team's going to be moving forward.
We got lazy, Bo, around here trying to catch up, and I get it. I get the GM was starting to feel pressure. He hadn't won, and he said, "Screw this drafts. I'm gonna go out and trade draft picks and get guys." And I get it because he was headed where he headed anyway. Yeah. It didn't work. That was losing his job. But yeah, and well, I don't know why.
And the big thing that hasn't worked for 25 years, they haven't found a head coach that can carry the load. Right? I mean, who?
Well, they haven't found a quarterback. They haven't found a coach. Yeah. They haven't found a general manager.
Yeah, I got to tell you, man. There's equal. I'm not going to. I'm not going to go more coach's problem than GM's problem.
Equal lack of opportunity. Well, no. It's the whole. It's the whole thing. It's just. You could point to 1 year and go, "Oh, geez, you had a pretty good coach there, but you didn't have this. You had this, but you didn't have a good coach." I don't know. It's
well, you do know because you see guys working.
I feel like I'm Debbie Downer. I'm walking.
Well, no. We don't want you to do that. I'll tell you one. If I was this offseason and I didn't get drafted, I was bummed out. I didn't go into 7 rounds. Like a couple of teams called me and the Dolphins like me. I'd be looking at that roster going, I got to look at big picture. Yeah. I ain't going to some great team to go, they really like me. I'm like, screw that.
Let me see. Do I want to go to Denver or Seattle? Yeah. I want to hear,
Miami. I'd be all over this. Hell,
Miami. What's wrong with Willis?
This is America's Got Talent. They're sitting there at the judges panel. Next.
Hey, I'm going, you know what? Screw that. I'm going down to Dolphins. I don't care. I want to get a chance to play right away, not just make the team here as a 53rd guy or 52nd guy in that roster. I want to. So, hey, I expect 3 or 4 rookie free agents to make the team.
Yeah, I do too.
Here's what I want to hear. I want to hear like there's a surprise in training camp.
Yeah.
Because whenever there's a great player, I remember Zach Thomas when he came in.
Yeah.
Jimmy, within a few weeks, called Jack Del Rio into his office, and Jack thought he was going to be the captain. He was going to be named captain, and he was cut
out of town. Your coaching career is about ready to start.
And then next year it was Jason Taylor. It's like, who is this guy out of Akron? That was lighting up training camp.
Yeah.
That's really what you want to hear, some story. And I don't mean like a receiver who's
but you got
catching stuff without getting hit.
Cam Wake story, right?
Canadian story is a great one
comes
too.
From Canada, and
he came here,
lights it up, man.
He looked like Superman, and he played like it.
The difference was Cam Wake had his choice of teams to go to. He came in with a pedigree of he can. Yeah, but he's expected to play.
There are a lot of guys that came out of Canada and came in with a pedigree, right? And didn't work out.
We had 2 guys. We actually had that, and by the way, that was a Jimmy Johnson thing too, wasn't it? Because we had Dixon. Mark Dixon was one hell of a. Let me tell you, Mark Dixon could play.
Yeah.
That dude, he never gets talked about. God bless you, Mark. You had your share of demons, like a lot of us, but man, you flat out play. That guy.
His problem was health, wasn't it? But he was a great quote. That's what I remember. Nice guy.
He had great stuff. And he was a great basketball player.
Yeah, he's a good athlete.
They had legendary O.J. McDuffie basketball games over there. And you go, OJ, it was always great to talk to OJ because he had them all playing.
Yeah.
And they were knockdown dragouts. They'd have fist fights, throwing the ball at each other. And you're going, who? He goes, give me your all OJ team at your house. And he goes, put Mark Dixon on there. Power forward. It was weird. And, he could talk trash with him too.
Yeah.
because you're over there with Jason, who, Jason Taylor those were knockdown dragouts. Those, but that's how those teams were, man. They were competitive and got. But I'm getting so tired. We have to go back and talk about some of the guys that these guys. It's just I'm ready to see it happen now. I'm so tired of hearing about going back. We're talking about guys in their 50s now and 40s when we talk about Zach and Jason.
Well, it's the 60th year. I was going to put together an all Dolphin team, and I realized, wait a second, the 60th year team is the 50th year team, and it's almost the 40th year team because so little has changed of talent wise.
I had to tell you what you did to me, and I'll never. I haven't told you this. You guys did that all Sun Sentinel team and asked me to get involved.
Oh, right. I remember you telling me this story. Yeah.
And so
we didn't want to take the heat show.
No, greatest Dolphins team. One year, the Sun Sentinel goes, "Hey, you're doing radio and TV. Would you mind? You know all these guys, and can you give us one player at every position on your all we're going to put it in the Sun Sentinel."
Right.
So never do it.
Yeah, no.
And it was one guy jumped me hard. And God bless him, we lost him.
Not Manny Fernandez.
Manny Fernandez. Yeah. I took Bob Baumhauer. I took Bob Baumhauer as my number one defensive tackle. And he got me before the game, and he excused himself from his wife, who went a little off the side, and he just – and I knew, man, he's a Northern California guy. He was saying he's down by Bo. And he goes, do you have – and honestly, I didn't know what he had done, to be honest. Yeah. I knew he was a good player, but I didn't know he had like 20 tackles in a Super Bowl and dominated the Redskins by himself. And all I know was Bob Baumhauer was really good and went to a bunch of Pro Bowls and –
So who would you pick now, Joe?
Well,
here's what. Who would you pick, Zach or Nick Bonacani?
Oh, that's a tough one.
So, but Nick never saw me. I know who I took.
I may take Zach because Nick's not going to go.
But that was tough because all those guys were still alive, or most of them, when I did that. Yeah. And they were at a game. A lot of them would go. And, boy, he called me off the side. He saw me. He goes, I want to talk to you. It wasn't hey, I want to explain something. He goes, I want to talk to you because you're wrong.
But that's a pretty Zach and Nick. That's a pretty good because they're very similar. Very similar. Undersized, very very smart, smarter than but physical.
Very athletic.
Yeah, that's a tough. Because I just saw Nick. I saw Nick's last year. In fact, he retired, and then we had because I came in as a linebacker and my knee got so we had a rash of injuries at linebacker. So in training camp, they brought him back for one last year.
They brought him back when Shula called him and he said, "Yeah, I'll come back. Pay me $125,000."
Right.
And he goes, "Okay, we'll pay you that."
I will tell you one thing too about Don Shula. I saw Tim Foley's last year. I saw Larry Little's last year, and we all had one thing in common. Whether you played on all those great teams with them, and those guys played on all the great teams. He chewed their ass equally, man. If something did. I saw Tim Foley.
Oh, Tim Foley.
He lit Tim Foley up on the and Tim Foley's a successful guy, had tons of businesses going, and Tim didn't need to play. Came back for another year. Super smart guy. And I don't know what he did wrong, but Glenn Blackwell was standing next to me. He says, "See that?" He said, "No matter who you are on this team, Shula will chew your ass during the game if you mess up." Yeah. He was lighting Foley up. He did it one day to Larry Little because Larry Little had to play a lot his 1 year, and Larry went right back at him like it would have been Coach Shula's wife talking back to the coach or something because, hey, you ain't gonna talk to me. And Larry would go after him with that voice. I remember that was crazy.
My first game with the Dolphins. We were up in Detroit for the preseason game, and I'm sitting there, and for some reason Larry comes over and he goes, hey. The old man's going to yell at you. He goes, and if he yells at you, you better yell back. If not, he's never going to let you.
I love the way everybody told you.
And I'm like, I'm sitting. I'm a rookie from San Jose State. Played against one of the nicest coaches in football, right? Oh yeah, go get some water.
I always love that all the veterans would tell you, listen.
Hey,
he's going to get you at some point. He gets every guy on the team more than once. He's going to get you, and he's going to talk to you like you've never been talked to in your life. And I'm sure Bo did the same thing I did. I go, no. My dad was tough.
Yeah, right.
My dad believed in spanking. My dad believed that till I left high school, my hair was short. I said, He was strict, man. He goes, "You're missing. You'll see." And then as soon as it would happen, Glenn would come up. Glenn Blackwood was always the guy who goes, "I told you. I told you." Hey, we got to go to break, man. Got a lot more stuff to get to here this morning as we continue on, man. Rookie camp with the vets on the way. And I know a lot of people wondering what it's going to look like. So are we. We're all thinking the same thing. But I do know this. When you go to your South Florida Chevy dealers, you're going to see some great trucks. Great trucks with great deals going on at 14 dealerships throughout South Florida for you to get that truck you need. Might be a Chevy Colorado. We got all kinds of them. Chevy, the Colorado Custom to the ZR2, all the right tools to exceed your expectations here in South Florida. And then on to the big boys, the Chevy Silverados, from a custom Trail Boss to the Silverado EV, 10 models, 4 powerful engine choices. Silverado delivers, man, everything you need. Strength, dependability, efficiency, whether it's a full-time working truck, family truck, or still want to enjoy it on a weekend with the boat and everything else, we got a truck absolutely perfect for your lifestyle. Silverado HD, the powerful LTZ to the biggest Chevy Silverado HD High Country, the big boy. So for the best in South Florida living with the best trucks out there, Chevy's got a truck absolutely perfect for you. Visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers today. Together, let's drive.
The
All right, welcome back, and good morning, everybody. Kim Bocamper, Dave Hyde, all day, Dan Day, Jamie in the back. Poor Jamie, boy, doing his Marlins show every day. 9 straight losses. Home run derby. Astros hit 8 home runs in 3 games. We saw a grand slam. We saw back-to-back home runs. Seen it all. So
you're feeling pretty good going into that All-Star break with them.
Oh,
right?
I did, Bo. I did, man. And I went all in. I was like, "There's no way." I said, Skipper was on. I said, "Hey, man, your team just the way you're playing right now. Even if you lose a couple, did not see a 9-game losing streak coming." And
I wrote their buyers. I wrote a column on Substack, my new format. You know, that they're buyers. You know, they got to go out and get something.
Now we're gonna find out.
Yeah, what are they? I don't know.
I got to tell you what they are because I see these text messages coming in. Same old Marlins. Here they go, losing all these games. They're not going to go get anybody now. They don't know what they're doing. So they got a guy in center field that can't hit. Matter of fact, they're at some point they're not playing him.
Well, they didn't play him last night for the first time against a right-hander, so that was a statement.
He's just really struggling. Casey's hurt out in right field. I mean, look, Conine's been fantastic. Got a catcher. Looks like Joe Mack's going to be the real deal. Is really good, but your infield's cooled off a little bit.
Yeah, they're not scoring runs like they were.
And the pitching is
like two runs again last night. And you look at this 9-game losing streak. The first 5 of 6, they were 2 runs or under, and you know the bullpen's cost them a couple.
Max being out is one of your all-star pitcher doesn't help. So they and this was a time, man. We always say they got that little window before football starts up, and right after football starts, people are going to be jacked up about the Panthers and the Heat, and we'll see how this Heat thing ends, whether LeBron's coming or not. Let me ask you, think LeBron's coming?
I don't know. I mean,
no, that's not acceptable. I don't know.
Certainly taking his time. I got a feeling they may get him.
I do too.
I have a feeling that
I think they're going to get him.
And you know what? Maybe the key to it. You know, he's playing golf now. He's become a golf addict, right?
I see that.
And so okay, you go back to Cleveland. Okay, you can play golf for 3 months up there. You go wherever up in the Northeast, so you can play. But here you can play every day.
Play every day.
Every day.
Everything fits here,
right?
Professionally, from weather, except if he wants to do the go back home thing in Cleveland, or he wants to stay out west with his family, with his kids.
But so Miami gives him certainly gives him a basketball team that he's got some lineage with, in a basketball team now that with him. You're going to be in the hunt, even if you don't get him, but you're going to be in the hunt. But certainly helps there. But it's Miami, I mean Miami, the town. Look, I don't even know that Miami because I don't get down there very much. But it's that Miami of international people coming in, going, jet setters. All that kind of, that's.
Oh, he got a lot of celebs.
You hang around that lifestyle, Dave, don't you?
Yeah, man, on South Beach. I'll show LeBron around.
You see LeBron going down. There's Giannis and there's Messi and
exactly. But I mean,
Beckham's over there with his wife, and they wave to him and say, "Hey, LeBron, come over."
Plus, he could finish where he last time he said not 1, not 2, not 3. Now he's going to pick up there, right on the 3rd championship.
You know, Eric Reed's not laughing that you're saying that. Eric Reed's the one that asked that question. He does not find that funny.
He doesn't?
No, he doesn't. I'm just kidding.
No.
We'll have some fun with it. So here's a problem, a concern I have. He's already told everybody that his wife and his family is going to stay in LA. That's a long way to leave the family. Now, I'm not saying
no longer than Cleveland.
That's a good point. That's true. But you're right. And his one son, evidently his son's playing basketball at Arizona.
Yeah.
So if he wants to finish the storybook in Cleveland, nothing that he can do. If he wants to go out west because his family's out west, there's nothing that he can do about it. But everything else, from the organization being championship organization to his fit to playing with the best player available, Giannis, to what his role would be on the team, the Heat need a creator and handle the ball at the end again. Everything else fits here.
And let me go to the heart of Joe Rose too. you don't have to pay those California taxes over here either.
No. He is about saving some money, although he's
he's not doing his wherever he's go. He's not maxing out his contract.
No.
He's going to get $7 million, I think, here and 6.5 other places. So, I thought this is the best spot from the start.
I think it's hilarious that this is going on, and I am so glad I'm not an NBA insider working on ESPN. You have to cover this every day and going, all right, we lead again with LeBron. What's he doing?
So LeBron's sitting there, and he knows everybody's waiting for the word, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's like just hoping, and he's just taking I'm just going to take my time, and I think,
Well, do you think he knows where he wants to go, or do you think he's –
I think he does.
So no, I want to sit on it for a few more days to make sure this is what I want to do. Or do you think he's milking it for attention?
No.
I don't think that.
He doesn't need that. I don't think he wants as much of that now.
I don't know. He just started a podcast, didn't he?
His
agent's got a podcast.
So
that's blown up.
So that's what everyone thought he was going to, on that first episode, where he was going to say where
in New York he was going to do it, and he didn't do it.
Yeah, okay.
But everybody's run out of things to talk about with LeBron.
Yeah, I mean,
thank God for the Heat social media creator giving some legs for the last couple days of.
I hate to say something to find out here, and I'm guessing we can find out if that person got fired. I hope not.
I hope not.
I'm not for everybody. I'm not calling for people's jobs, especially
little people.
Huge mistake, though. By the way, huge mistake.
I don't think what did I miss here on that one?
The social media sent out something here.
A little premature.
Yes, that
saying LeBron's opening press conference, introductory press conference
on the 27th.
Yeah,
and
I didn't think that went over, Bo.
Well, I didn't. I go, oh, okay, well, maybe it wouldn't, but yeah. Now that I'm understanding.
How do you think when Riles, who's over with his wife Chris?
I was trying to get our social media director to do the same thing with LeBron at QAM, but he won't do it.
How long did it take for Pat to be on the horn on that one then?
Oh,
you heard that?
Well, somebody probably called him and say, "Hey, Pat, in case you're going to hear it over there, because probably going to hit. Well, we'll hit over there too. We want to let you know that we just jumped the gun a little bit." The question is, did Pat go, "Get rid of that son of a"?
I think he said, "What's a social media?"
Oh, creator? He did that first.
Yeah.
We had to find out what a DM was and what's behind this Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo, because he was talking about it, and I'm sure when he found out, like, who's the DM person? He think it was initials like Dan Marino
at
or
Giannis's
something.
Press conference when he was introduced, Pat made jokes with Bam, like, "Oh, I forgot to introduce Bam. Bam, don't get mad. Don't hit me." He didn't say don't hit me, but it was
like don't mess around.
It was great.
Yeah, the DM thing. Ryle's going, DM. Dan Marino, he told Dan, he goes, "No, this."
Bo, that's what I said for everybody thinking that, this was the Heat strategically placed that out there to make a statement.
A lot of guys on ESPN
you
thought
think
that.
Pat Riley got a call from LeBron, hung up and called the social media, hey, let's get this ready.
Yeah.
Let's get this ready to put out.
It is weird. I just don't see how you make a mistake like that. I guess you click a button or something. I just don't know how that could happen.
I can because in newspaper you can put your stories out there, and right now I know any beat writer for the Heat has a story written saying LeBron's going to come, LeBron's not going to come.
Right.
And what if they set it up on Twitter and they hit the wrong button?
Right.
But there's no reason to hit either button right now.
Yeah.
So we do in TV. Bo knows that you're putting piece together. Hey, such and such going to retire, or he's getting ready to pass away. So let's get a piece ready to go. He's in bad shape, and you do a nice piece. You don't run it early while he's still, hey, he's not dead yet. What are we doing? He didn't pass.
So I don't know. Pat. Pat's. He's our age, a little bit more. But I think he's still in tune to social media to some degree.
I don't know, Bo.
I don't know that he's on his phone looking at it. Maybe he's got
81,
somebody next to him or somebody around him that that translates what's going on.
I think it's one
media.
of those. You make me aware if I need to know anything.
Would you like to be that guy that goes, "Hey, you're gonna have to go over there and tell Pat Riley about this thing.
Yeah,
I know he's long distance, but I mean, you could.
I don't even think Pat cares.
You can see some little intern going, coming up to Pat and he's sitting watching practice and going, "Hey, coach, someone just leaked that LeBron James is coming here." And what?
Pat said he has 2 rules for people when they go out to dinner, like with his group of friends.
Don't talk.
No phones
Yeah.
is number 1,
Yeah,
and no questions of health.
Yeah.
I could see that where a lot of guys like, hey, man, we got to go to break. I didn't realize it's almost 8 o'clock here. Dude, time to tell you before we get to this 8 o'clock hour, I got a lot more to talk about. Baptist Health South Florida, a great sports medicine program. Kim Bokamper's just absolutely abused the sports medicine program. Dr. Schwartz and I want to apologize on behalf of Bo for coming in as much as I do to see all the time. We're always injured. Something's always going wrong, but it sure is nice to have one of the best and top sports medicine programs in the country here. Man, people ask me, where do the pros go? Inter Miami, the Heat, the Panthers, and Miami Dolphins all trust this great sports medicine program. Baptist Health South Florida has put together some of the top specialists in the country for the knee, shoulder, foot and ankle, hand, back, hip and knee replacement, Achilles. I can go on about great doctors that know how to get you back out playing the sports you love the most, with facilities are fantastic as well. Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, Hard Rock Stadium next to the training facility, 595 in Pine Island in Plantation. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. One goal for all of us. Back out playing the sports we all love the most.
and Miami, an Odyssey Sports Station, the home of Joe Rose with Hollywood, Tobin and Leroy, and Hot Crowder and Solana. South Florida sports lives here.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Miami, we go to the beach for a little solcito, and when we want a low price, you save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai. The Astros defeated the Marlins yesterday, a 5-2. Fish have the day off. They're back in action tomorrow, 7-10 against the Padres. Inter Miami defeated the Chicago Fire 3-2. And Fansite.com has released its list of top 50 NFL players. The only Dolphin to crack the list, linebacker Jordan Brooks at 49. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Storm season is coming. Make sure your home is ready. Get your free roof and window estimate today. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Temperatures near 90 degrees with a chance of rain around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
I don't know what you heard about me.
I don't know what you heard about me, but I know one thing. Miami Dolphins will be back on the field today, the rookies, and I don't know how much you can do with like 24, 25, 26 guys out there, including 13 draft picks and rest rookie free agents.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to get them the basics and start to get comfortable in there. And but I tell you what, I'm looking here. You got a bunch of TVs and there's a lot of baseball and stuff going on. I guarantee you next week that baseball is going to be pushed to the backside. Which I don't care what part of the season it is. It's going to be pushed off and it's going to be all football all the time, man.
They've already started on, all the teams and who's got the best shot and the best stories going on. And, listen, I'm with you talking about Mahomes and when he's going to be ready to play and how good they're going to be. By the way, I don't think Kansas City's going to be very good.
Well, so I just saw a little clip of that, and it's like, what are the Chiefs going to be if Mahomes is healthy? Mahomes is not a young kid, and an injury like that, you just wonder what, it's hard. It's hard to bet against him because what he's done for so long in his career. But at some point, there's always that, where and then you got
they're running back the old guys again.
So then you got Travis Kelce coming back, right? And
did not have a great year last year.
No, didn't have a good year last year, and I think that his. I'm sure he's working out and doing all this kind of stuff, but the world that he's in right now is a little bit chaotic for an NFL guy. You know what I mean?
Well, they're in a soft transition too. They traded McDuffie to the Rams. But when they come down here September 22nd,
we got him for a home opener.
Third game. Home opener. Will Mahomes be playing and be effective? I assume he'll be playing, right?
They are the third best team in their division. I know people think I'm crazy. I think Chargers are going to be really good.
Yeah.
I think Mike coming to that offense is going to be a big help for him. I think again, I love the play calling.
If they can get the play calls in there.
Well, he's just he may have some guys going, hey, can you slow down on a little bit of this extra stuff you're putting on? And I think the Broncos are the best team in AFC.
I do too. I like them. Yeah.
And they get Waddle. It's a nice piece to add. Whatever you think of Waddle here, that's a nice piece to add.
Look, they're on the doorstep of the Super Bowl, until
quarterback away.
Got one, gets
But the Patriots still,
that could be.
They're still growing. I mean, they overachieved last year.
Yes. Right? So I agree with that. But the one thing they got their quarterback, right? And then
Drake May is good.
So now they reshuffle that. They get that offensive line and a little bit better.
They get AJ Brown as a receiver, and we'll see what that.
They've got good receivers. They upgraded both ends of that.
Yeah.
Got the guy from Green Bay on the other side. That's a nice team of.
What are the Chargers getting with McDaniel, and what are the Dolphins? I mean, McDaniel's problem as a head coach. We all know that.
Yeah.
Okay. He was soft. He didn't really know how to.
He doesn't be that guy this year because he ain't calling the shots at the top. That's right. For Harbaugh.
They got a guy like that who does all Mike's weaknesses are Harbaugh's strengths.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Of confrontation, of setting standards. So what do they get in?
I think they're getting a guy that's got creative play calling.
Yep.
In those types of things, and but he's also so So the league's already seen Mike McDaniel's offense for what? He was here for 3 years?
3 or 4 years.
3 or 4, whatever it was, how long he's here. They've seen that offense. And if you look back at those seasons, when you started early on, you're playing and go, oh, geez, okay. And then all of a sudden you're in week 8 or 9, and you're throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage half the time.
Well,
I think teams have been able to kind of figure out the Mike McDaniel offense. But look, he's creative. He'll bring some different things to him, and they've just got to make it work. But I mean, you got to, I'd be hard pressed to say with his offense, if he's going to use the same terminology that he used here, you're almost going to have him be the guy that's communicating with the quarterback, because it can't go through him to another coach to the quarterback. That's another layer it's going to be tough.
He got 2 tackles back. Let's start with 2 high first-round picks. Can't stay healthy, but if they can this year, I just think the things he's going to do. He called some plays last year down in the red zone where guys are wide open, and I'm like, I don't know how you do that. Guy's going in motion and going back the other way, and he throws it. And where's the guy on him? He's running to the other side of the field. He got tight end. Waller's run around the end zone like nobody knew he was playing. And I was like, whatever Mike's calling, it's really messing with guys.
But you wonder what Jim Harbaugh is going to do. How so you've got a guy that's kind of a I don't know what the terminology would be. A guy that's a little flighty, a little bit, a little loose like this, and you got one of the most buttoned down guys as a head coach.
He knows what he got, Bo.
But I think that's a good combination.
Right? I
do.
I think it's if Harbaugh can say, hey, look, don't step out of your zone. This is what you do. I'll handle all the rest of this stuff. You do this.
Here's what I'm curious about. How much of the offense we saw here was to keep Tua out of trouble, the quick reads, and how now he's got a big, strong quarterback, and does the offense change? In fact, it's the opposite offense. They don't have receivers. They don't have great receivers in the Chargers. I said San Diego, but they have a big quarterback. They have a big offensive line, and
he's athletic too, man. He ran for a lot of yards. He was second or third quarterback yards last year running the football, and I'm curious to see what he can do with him. He did a great job with Tua overall. He did a good job.
He maxed out what Tua had.
Tua can't run a lick. Had trouble getting back the line of scrimmage, and he found a way to work. Some of the reason I think he got rid of the ball quickly, and by the way, what he did for Achane, another guy.
Yeah,
like we're complaining about our offense last year. Achane averaged 5.7 yards per carry, and I know he broke a lot of tackles. But you run as a running back and you carry the ball that much, that's impressive.
Look, he's a big, huge part of the passing game too.
He was.
Right?
He was.
Yeah. And I keep seeing on analytics the Dolphins were rated the 29th offensive line last year.
Yeah.
And people are projecting them. Warren Sharp, for instance, one of the better analysts, he's employed by some teams. He's projected to be the 29th offensive line this year. And I'm saying if it's the 29th offensive line, they're in trouble, because that
Malik got no shot if that's the case.
Yeah.
Right.
Malik Willis, that's pass running for your life. If we're talking about the 29th best run and pass protection team,
when they have one All-Pro center, the 12th pick overall guard, and a tackle everybody thinks is on the come here as far as so.
But then you got that right side.
Yeah, that's an issue.
It's you look, that offensive line could be really good, or it could be, half good.
Are we still in the wall of worry stage with the offensive line?
Well, I think to me the biggest worry right now is Austin Jackson going to be healthy to play? I mean,
that's a bigger concern for you than Savaiinaia playing production wise.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because if he doesn't play, then you got to bring another guy in.
Probably Sawyer.
Yeah, Sawyer, and then I don't know, but
you're not real. Listen, Austin didn't. He wasn't ready to go during camp. I mean, during mini camp.
Well,
and OTAs,
he was out there working.
A little bit on the side.
He's out there on the side working, which is something. And I don't think that I can't speak for this regime, the new guys that have come in, but I think, if it's me and if it's the way I believe that they think, is they're not going to let these guys just kind of wander around there and say, "Oh, I'll play when I'm ready to play." I mean, they may not have anything to that they can force them to do, but I think there'll be, I don't think they're just going to let guys, tell me when you're ready to play.
Well, they're going to be patient with Austin, though, because they do need him.
Yeah,
they do need him in a year where we're short at just about every position.
What do they do if he's goes down in the midseason or isn't ready?
Proctor to right tackle.
Do they move Proctor right?
I would.
That's a hard move if you don't work him in training camp. Look, the thing would be if you go during training camp and every now and then you see him pop them over there to that side, just to get a feel for it.
That's true.
Then
you don't have to do it crazy overnight.
But so if you do that, you dilute the job of getting him to play at the position that you want him to play at, and go, okay, you're gonna do this, and it was like when I came in, I'm playing linebacker, and so I'm doing linebacker drills, and about halfway there, hey, run over here and run over to the defensive line and do defensive line crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was
and it was a little sideways.
Well, it will be, but it does start with the line of scrimmage. I feel good about the defensive tackles. I do.
Yeah.
I don't know how good I feel about the guys on the outside.
How you feel.
I do know how we feel.
You don't feel good.
No,
you feel uncertain, just like cornerbacks.
Yeah, I was going to ask this. Sorry, Dan, I didn't cut you off. We at some point you got to have a pure pass rusher one-on-one.
Yeah,
right? You just can't blitz every time and go creative blitzes and stuff like. All right, Chop, you got to beat this guy one-on-one. Whoever's on the other side, and I do mean whoever's on the other side.
So let's say you come out of training camp, and you got one decent edge rusher, right? I think that would put Jeff Hafley in a situation where you got to play more of a 4-3, because you got the big guys that can do that, and you try to run a defense where you instead of having a true edge rusher in the form they are now at this point, where you put two guys out there and just do whatever I don't care what. Don't worry about contain. Don't worry about anything. Just get to the quarterback as fast as you can, any way you can.
Yeah.
Right. We don't have that guy.
Yeah. The only issue there, though, is middle linebacker. They got three guys who can play inside, and
but so you go to for pressure where you got to start shooting those inside linebackers sometimes.
I don't think they can play all three of those guys a lot.
Who's that?
The three linebackers, including your second-round pick with the two veterans from last year.
Well, no. My concern is more on the front line. I mean, you're going to play a 3-4, 4-3, because if you're going to play a three-man front, and sometimes last year they're playing. Look, some of these teams now are only playing two guys down, two guys up on the end, no one covering the tackles, right? I mean.
I
don't think we have the personnel for that.
Yeah. Well, he's got an idea what he has. We're not ambushing and he's going, wow, I never thought of what those guys are talking about. But Biggers, I think.
But I'm certain that conversation has to be there when you're looking at your two outside guys that you're hoping can, you're hoping that Chop can resurrect. And who's the other guy? Uche? So you got him on the other side
Columbus.
as a guy that's lined up there. Does that spell that you're going to get some guy's going to get 12 sacks for you out of those two guys?
You got
to manufacture it somewhere.
Love to see. I can't wait to see how they're going to play the three guys you drafted last year in defensive tackles. How many of those guys get moved outside a little bit to play defensive end?
Yeah. Well, look, if it's
defensive ends,
you got Grant and Biggers inside, and you could put Phillips and Zach. As your big defense, look, that's the way it used to be. The 4-3s back in the day, you had two big guys and two pretty big guys at the defensive end spots.
He's a big dude. He had 320
a lot of big dudes out there. You could put 3,000. You could put. Let me see. You got 3. You could put almost 1,200 pounds of.
Put a lot of weight out there. Those four. We just call them the big guys, man. I don't know what we'll have to come up with a name if they play all four of those guys together. Because hey, that's a tough one. Hey, we got to go to break here, man. We're running late again. Kim Bocamper in the house, Dave Hyde in the house all day. Dan Day also here with us today. Jamie also helping us out. We got a lot of people. We got a lot to talk about. Atlantic Men's Clinic, ED, and low T is nothing to mess with. And I'm not proud in front of my two good friends that tell them, but they both know I was dealing with ED and low T. Just a low time in my life. It was bad. My energy level was shot. I was tired all the time, just didn't feel like doing anything. Gained the weight like everybody else, usually low T. If you're not active and you got a good cook in the family, you're gaining 20 pounds. That's what happens. It's the other part to really get your attention, though, the old ED. Sex drive, first it's kind of hit and miss, and then you notice one Friday night it's gone. And then the next Friday it's gone. And then you're going, oh, boy, I got a serious problem, and I want to get rid of it. You go to Atlantic Men's Clinic, they'll get rid of it. That's what happened 2.5 years ago for me. Turn back the clock 15 or 20 years, man. Feel great. Atlantic Men's Clinic works like nobody's business. You get the T, the PSA test. You got to set up that first appointment. You meet with that professional staff. They look at the results, put you on a program that is made, custom-made for you to have great results. 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. If you're serious about this, you got to write this number down, 877-455-7300. If you're ready to make a change, hey, I just had a very active, just hiking with my wife for a full week. I had a blast, just feeling great, being able to get up every morning and walk for miles and miles. Couldn't do it before. And I'll tell you what, feeling great. And I want you to feel great too. 877-455-7300. Visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. It works, man.
The Joe Rose Show is presented by Loctite Windows, Doors, and Roofing. Loctite Impact, South Florida's top-rated impact windows, doors, and roofing provider with thousands of 5-star reviews.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This
Well, just finding out from Dave Hyde that lobster season's coming up.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, man, there's another one I didn't have as a kid.
No.
Those Florida lobsters. And those little guys are good, man.
I only started about age 50. You know, I'd go into restaurants down here and I see all these pictures of people pulling up fish.
Yeah.
I said, I want to do that someday. So
you didn't start doing till late?
No, not till a friend of mine, Big Ed, needed a boat partner. I said, will you teach me to drive the boat? I'll be your boat partner. So started diving and fishing and so yeah, next Wednesday I'll be down underwater, looking
bright
for
and early.
Yeah. Jamie's probably going to say he's never had a Florida lobster. Like he tricked me on the whole key lime thing.
Yeah, well, it worked. You brought a nice, delicious key lime pie in there, and
will you bring a little teaser or something down?
I brought him some.
This guy grew up down here. I'm still having trouble, and it's not a big deal. But we know Jamie grew up down here. He's from here.
Yeah.
He never had key lime pie.
What kind of a
child? How do you do that? How do you live here and say I've never at least tried it?
Look at him. He's a dull guy. He's
that girl he's been dating a little bit here.
So with the chunky one?
No, just a
Why
very
don't
attractive.
Say that, Bob?
What?
Bo always throws that in my face. Like,
hey, by the way,
never even seen the girl.
By the way, how about the fact that she just happened to be listening and going, so Jamie thinks I'm chunky, huh?
All we've heard is she's English. We never heard.
No, she's very attractive.
Oh, if she's English, she's obviously chunky.
No, Bo, she's very attractive girl.
Good-looking girl,
as opposed to Spanish. Is that what you're saying, or from Britain?
No.
From Great Britain?
No, she's very
attractive. She's from England.
England.
Oh.
Yeah, she is from
How's
England.
her teeth?
No, she's very attractive. She's very nice.
How are her teeth?
They look great, Paul.
Okay.
She's very. Hey, I'm sorry, Jamie. You didn't tell her listen to you in the morning, did you, or anything? You didn't say that to her.
No, I just told her we were talking about how great she is all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm thinking about
Or maybe she was just bloated when I saw her.
I'm not sure. Bloated. You're a bad guy. You're a bad man. What'd you say, Jamie? Go ahead.
I'm thinking about saying that I've never had lobster before. If Dave wants to bring in some of that for
I
me.
could see the wheels turning as I was asking the question. I cut you off on that one. Yeah. You tricked me on the key lime, and you got a key lime out of it.
Those lobsters do sound good, though, Dave.
Yeah. If I get some, I'll bring some in. If I'm Wednesday and Thursday, I got my national holiday off to go lobstering. If I get some, I'll bring some in Friday.
It's no big deal, but I have to say my fishing trip that I had with this guy that's been with me my whole life here. He has a boat and he goes, "Hey, you want to go out with me one day?" And I go, "Yeah," because we're both living on the east side of town. And so I went out with him. And right as we got out to the main part of the Atlantic Ocean there, we hit a run. There's seaweed or some boat goes, "Oh, that's where they are." Man, we got it and we hit it. Bam, bam, bam. We got like 5 or 6 nice ones too. Remember, like yesterday, hit the dolphin. It was great. So I'm thinking this is going to be fun. I didn't realize he didn't really know how to clean the fish and cut them up.
Butchered them.
We butchered them up. By the time we got bro,
you should have been arrested. So I'm going to tell you. So we the first Super Bowl we went to. So we get our Super Bowl bonus, and Bob Baumhauer talks me into getting a boat. Right? Oh, you should get a boat, because we're living down Las Olas, and he always had a boat since he was a kid.
Yeah, nice boat.
Bob was always in the fishing and boating world, and so I don't know if I want a boat. No, so finally, kind of. So I find a guy. Said, "Oh, I get a deal for this. He knows this boat anyway." So I get a boat, and he goes, "Oh, you got to rig it all out for fishing and stuff." I go, "Okay." So I get it all rigged out for fishing. So I go to pick up the boat, and I realize I'd never driven a boat before. So I'm driving it. I bought it. I got it from like Lauderdale Marina, and I was living in the islands.
What kind of boat are we talking here?
It was a 25-foot Hydro Sport.
Oh God! Oh boy, you're in trouble.
Twin 150 like outboards, right?
That was a nice boat.
And so I get in the boat by myself, and I'm going, how am I going to get this thing home? I've never. So I meander it home, and anyway, so Bob says, I got fishing poles, so we go get fishing poles and the whole thing. And like 3 days later, Bob goes, "Let's go and I'll teach you how to fish." Right. So okay, so we get it all done. We get down there early in the morning, and we get our bait and we're ready to go on. And so we get out there and, we go out and get out deep and so look for the weed lines. And I go, what are the weed lines? I go, well, you'll see them. There's weed, So, okay. So it was like it was a two seats in the front and like 2 seats in the back in the fishing area in the back. And so he goes, okay, there's a weed line. Let's get, so just right along the weed line at about 2,000 RPM or whatever the trolling time is. So I'm doing it. So I'm trolling. And we're going. I'm going, and I'm just, and so we're going. I'm going for a while, and I'm driving because I'm like, I'm looking for everything. So about an hour in, I don't hear anything from Bob. I look back, and he's like,
Bob falls asleep.
He's sitting back. And I'm going, oh, okay, So I keep going. I didn't wake him up. I keep going. So then he wakes up, right? And he goes, hey, why don't I drive? You come back here and fish a while. I go, that's what you were doing? Looked a lot like sleeping to me. And we caught nothing, absolutely nothing. And I bet you I went fishing in that boat 2 more times and never fished again in it. I just but I loved it. We used it for diving a lot.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I'm glad you got use of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually like to go to the back. I went in the back country last year.
I like the flats. Fun. I love that.
Yeah. That's fun.
You caught a bunch. What'd you catch again?
Caught mangrove snapper, trout, and we didn't get redfish this time.
You sound like we
got some tarpon back in there, but you don't keep those.
You know what I like about that type of fishing is you spot the fish and then you cast to them, right?
Yeah, well, not where we were, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
You're watching those fishing
the
shows,
flatfish. Yeah.
No, because there was a guy down there. I can't for life, but he used to do these red bone, these
redfish.
The fishing tournament. He did a fishing tournament. His daughter has cystic fibrosis or cerebral palsy, one of those, and so he did a fishing tournament every year in Key Largo. I mean, in Islamorada, and then he did it in Key West. And so I'd go fish, and we'd fish in the flats. So it was a redfish tournament or a bonefish tournament.
Oh, bonefish.
Bonefish and permit. It was the 2 fish you're trying to catch.
You know what though? I can't believe what you become. You like fishing as much. Dave Hyde sends me pictures down on a freaking boat all the time. It's incredible. All right. We got to get back though. I just want to get your life in here, man.
You might have.
That's what us retired people do.
You might have to do the Dave Hyde fishing report from Florida on your Substack.
Have you thought about that?
Some days it might be a real quick fishing report.
Get your buddies out there. You got some characters you're with, man. Those guys.
Go to Publix and get a can of sardines. You can put that on the Substack.
Oh yeah, go get a frozen one.
I get Jimmy Johnson down there. I think his fishing tournament was last weekend, or
he still does that big tournament.
It,
yeah.
So you got Jimmy. He fishes a lot, right? Still does.
Yeah. Not like he used to. Does he still fish?
Not as much as he used to.
And then you got Westy who goes out and fishes for
shark.
For shark, yeah, Mike Westhoff.
Yeah, I've called him a couple times. So just a second, if I hang up, that's because I got a shark on the line.
That guy retired is dangerous now, though.
Oh, yeah,
he's
man.
dangerous. He's dangerous. We got to go to break here, man. We got a lot more stuff to get to. Hey, by the way, if you're just joining us, Marlins off today. 9 straight losses, open up tomorrow, 3-game series. Manny Machado not having a great year, by the way. One of the reasons that Padres have not been good. He's hitting .202. But first of 3 games, San Diego Padres in town, followed by the Phillies for 3 games. So a big 6-game series for the Marlins. We got a lot of things going on with them for you to go out, take the family, and really enjoy yourself. Before, though, we get to all that stuff and get back to the show, I do want to take time to tell you about Mike Ocacci at Choice Mortgage. You need cash to pay off taxes, liens, judgments, IRS, high interest rates, second mortgages, credit card debt. Call Mike Ocacci at Choice Mortgage, 561-441-2730. I just tell you this, with his 30 years of experience helping Floridians, it's about great service. And great service means getting you approved quickly. If you own a commercial or residential property with equity, call Michael right now. He can help you get that money out. He gets done about half the time of the big banks. And if you're looking to buy a home today, he'll get you pre-approved with little money down. Now's the time to lock in before interest rates might be going back up. Call his cell phone or text him, 561-441-2730. The man's always working, Saturday and Sunday included. Nobody's going to do it better than Mike Okatsi to get it done for you. MLS 166-254. Rates and terms subject to change. Stay the without notice. He's an equal housing lender.
WQAM broadcasting live from the Ed Moore Sawgrass Auto Mall studio.
back, and good morning to everybody. Thanks for being with us. Sorry about that little fishing stuff. We got a little off track. I'm not going to let that happen again. John Eric Sullivan, Finn's general manager, first draft class. He's getting a chance to watch here before the veteran guys come in, which there's not that many veterans on the team, really. But 13-man draft class, probably another 12 or 13 rookie free agents in there. And I know one thing, guys, before we get into this whole thing, and you've actually written some stuff about this too, right, Dave? Talking about how important this draft class. You got 13, you got to hit. You got to hit on some players. And I don't mean just the 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. We need to have success down the road here, and probably rookie free agent success as well. But there's no question for me, Bo, you were number one. So I know you know what a number one looks like, and you and Larry were drafted the same year and both ended up being really good players on the outside. Caden Proctor and Chris Johnson need to be really good.
Yeah.
They need to be. I'm not saying they need to be first-team All-Pro or Pro Bowlers, but they need to be like, damn, that's what first-round picks look like.
Yeah. Well, so with the cornerback, to me, I would always put, I would always relate to another first-round pick, Don McNeil, right? When Don came in, right? It was seamless.
Day one.
I mean, day one. You walked in, he was there
locked up,
and he was there. And I think if I'm them, I want to get him as many reps as possible in the preseason and play, and just, you're young, just play and make your mistakes. Make your mistakes. You're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But you're going to see 2 joint practices and 3 preseason games before the season starts, which should give you a lot of reps and it give you an opportunity to make the mistakes. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes, because you're going to
make them. Nobody's playing a perfect game.
But when you make the mistake, they're going to correct you. So you correct yourself through. So by the time, I think they would, I would assume he's going to get a lot of reps, and certainly Proctor's going to get a lot of reps in that.
Well, they got 6 picks in the top 94, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that came close to Dolphins history was 2020, when they had 6 picks in the top 70.
Yeah.
And you look back on that era, and that was the defining draft, where they didn't hit on the quarterback.
Yeah.
They didn't hit on the first 3 first-round picks.
So that was the 2 Austin Jackson,
Noah Igbenogany. And so it's real simple that this will set the tone of where they're going.
Yes,
and you need to come out of this and look back on it 3 years from now and say, that was a good draft. It changed the direction, or set the direction of this new regime.
Yeah, and I think you got Proctor and Rodriguez. You got to throw him in there as a guy that
43rd pick in the draft.
Going to play a lot of football for them.
Maybe the best inside linebacker in college football. So
get him.
And that's a position they had Jordan Brooks and they had 2 guys that are set.
Dotson had a good year.
They must have really loved them.
Yeah.
I'll give you another one though. So they got 3. To your point, you said the 6. The other 3 were 3rd-round picks, and Caleb Douglas, Kazmarek, the tight end, and Chris Bell, who we're not going to see till hopefully second half of the season. Hopefully. But what are we going to get out of the 3rd round? You got to get something out of it. You can't have an empty.
I think he's
going to play, right?
He's going to play, and I think he's it's hard to say he looked good when we saw him.
Well, that's not fair.
But you're in shorts and t-shirts. I mean, it's
and if he's specialized in blocking, then
he's the hot button item in the NFL, right? The blocking tight end. A lot, and that draft was a lot of them were taken. But to me, the best receiver on the team right now that you'd look at, say the pedigree is Chris Bell.
Yeah,
as soon as he gets healthy. But when will he be healthy?
Yeah,
right. No. But it's nice to know you have that, and probably would have been a 1st or 2nd round pick before that. Then the question, as you go down there, Trey Moore and Kyle Lewis, who everybody loves out of Pitt, and what do you get out of those guys? And then is there anything left at the bottom of the draft? DJ Campbell at guard, he's going to be on the team? I'm guessing he's going to be one of the 8 or 9 guys on the team.
I would imagine,
Texas.
yeah.
And then Llewellyn, the defensive end they got in the 7th round
from Iowa, and who knows?
We need pass rushers and guys that can set the edge. And that's why Mason Reiger out of Wisconsin's another guy they're talking about.
You know, so that stuff to me, it's like we were talking in the last segment. You know, what are they going to run with those guys? Are they going to try? You know, they're going to try to do this multiple scheme fronts but do you have the personnel for it? We'll find that out.
We're going to be flipping groups in and out of the lineup,
sure,
right?
no,
First down, second down, 4 and 5 guys coming on and off the field, right?
I would think so. Yeah,
that's what I
think so.
That's my vision. Is we're going to see Green Bay package, Don Shula package, whatever the names they come up with.
I mean, you'd like to have a team where, and I think you like to have a team where you can do multiple sets without having to bring too many people in. You know, where you got an edge guy that can put his hand in the dirt. You know, and change that front a little bit without having to send somebody else in and just show different looks. But you know, it's way too early to see what they're going to do there. I know that those 3 defensive tackles that we drafted last year, they're going to get a lot of playing time, and they're going to be expected to be really good.
I think the big jump's going to be the guys that all played last year, and every one of those draft picks played a lot of football.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Really show you that. Oh, I'm ready for a big jump. Maybe Kenneth Grant at the end of the year.
So I think Trader's going to make a big jump.
Yeah,
I think Trader's going to be really good.
I think Grant's going to be better. I think
Grant's going to be better.
Phillips is going to be better.
Everybody likes Phillips, but we got a lot of our guys that eyeball it like we all do. Our writers are not big sold on Grant. That Kenneth Grant.
Well, you know, to me, of those 3, between Biggers and Phillips and Grant, he's the biggest question mark to me, Grant, because he didn't. He did all right last year, but he didn't.
But he can play 3 downs. He can.
Yes.
Whereas Phillips is a run stopper. So and Biggers, you know, he can play. He's gonna. I think they're gonna play
a big
him out
long guy, man.
Right. They will play him out a little bit.
He's a 7th round pick. The fact has a possibility, that's a great pick, you know.
But but they've got to play. They've got to be, you know, they've got to be what they were. They've got to be, you know, you're a 1st round pick. You got to play that way.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying about this draft class. You need somebody beyond the 1st round pick, but including them who you come out and say, this guy's ready to play right now. Wow. He's nice. You know, I don't want to at the end, at this time next year, we're saying, well, they should be making a nice step up. For them to when they say we're going to build through the draft, you need to find some special players.
Bo hit a guy. It was my draft class. Don McNeil was the most, and I'm only speaking. Bo goes back further. Dave, you've seen him through the years. Don McNeil, day 1, lined up and bump and run on the outside and looked like he'd been in the NFL for 6 or 7 years. He was that good out of Alabama.
Yeah, day 1 when you saw him, you don't worry about that spot no more.
He's a fast guy on the team before Duke got there, and he was unbelievable. There was no weak. He never said a word.
He is the one guy. Everybody, when I talk, you know, because this was he was drafted before I got here.
Yeah,
that everybody said Don McNeil's special, and yet he had a nice career, a really nice career.
No, we have guys, idiots in the market, and some that will say Don McNeil is a bust, and I'm like, you sound stupid.
Yeah, that's really.
The guy
stupid.
was so good.
Yeah,
and let me tell you, it didn't even come from me. I went home my rookie year. I tell this story all the time, and Bo knows Steve Barkowski really well. And Bart goes, "Hey man, I gotta tell you, I've never seen a guy play like Don McNeil." And I didn't know where he's going. You know, this conversation, like he's gonna, you know, you're on a good team, and I go, huh? He goes, Don McNeil, day 1, that dude was really good. And I couldn't wait to tell Don. I said, Mac, hey, Steve Barkowski says, you're not acting like a rookie, man. You're how good you were.
So it's a limit. So I had this experience.
You have any other guys?
I had this experience when I was at San Jose State, right? I'm my junior year, and we you know we had a pretty good team. You know, we had some good guys and a lot of good. We had 3 first-round draft picks in that team, and
San Jose State had
couple of second and third-round draft picks.
This guy they had a top 10 defense in the country.
Yeah.
But they had 3 first-round picks at San Jose State. They were bandits over there. They were a bunch of bandits, man.
So we play the season, and the NFL draft comes around, and this guy Louis Wright. He goes, Louis Wright got drafted. I go, and I forget, he was drafted like in top 10.
Yeah.
Top, certainly top 15, but somewhere in there. And I go, because I had just come from junior college and I didn't, so I go, Louis, I don't even remember him doing anything, And then I realized because no one ever threw the football at him. So I didn't really know, but I didn't know. But then he walked right into Denver and became a Pro Bowl cornerback, unbelievable cornerback. And I didn't even, I barely knew he was on the team because he's a quiet guy like Don McNeil.
Yeah.
And Don was real quiet and wasn't like a raw.
And what was great about Mac too? Before we go to break, Mac was a really good Christian guy, first class Christian guy. If you had any trouble in your marriage, you could go to him for free. I was paying for all this money to go to counselors. I could have gone to Mac for free.
Who would have done that on the team?
So Mac
was amazing.
So Mac was he was a nice.
He and Rhonda are beautiful people, man.
Great people. Not kind of naive, and so it was early. It was this rookie season, and we're playing a 1:00 game in the Orange Bowl, and the offense is out in the field, and so it's me and Glenn and Lyle Blackwood. We're sitting there, we're just on a knee on the sideline, just kind of watching the game and just kind of jerking around like we always did. So Don McNeil comes up, right, and we're in our all white uniforms, and Don goes, hey, he goes, hey, can you tell me something? He says, I got to pee. I got to pee. He goes, what do I do? He goes, what? And so Glenn and Lyle go, just pee in your pants. It doesn't matter, right? And he goes, what? You go, yeah, we do it all the time. Just you can't go. You just so, and so and at that point, before the games, you're taking all these vitamin B vitamins and stuff like that. So Don, all of a sudden, so he goes, well, okay. So he stands there, and you see kind of squints his eyes a little bit, and all of a sudden you see like a neon green, right? And so we start laughing. He looks down, and goes, oh my God. Runs over to the bench, gets remember the ice towels they had? Starts draining them.
That was great. No, listen, man, he was, I could talk Don McNeil all day, man. I love him as a teammate. The absolute stud. Hey, 9:00 hour is coming up here. Got to take a minute to tell you about Chapman Partnership and the work they're doing in Dade County, man, helping the homeless so many different ways. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear about the homeless, and maybe you've had, somebody stop you at a stoplight or stop sign. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to hear. What are we doing? Listen, man, they're bringing in the homeless, and it's a lot more than just a bite to eat and a bed and occasional shower. No, it's changing lives daily with all the great programs they have and all the caring support and wraparound services and programs at Chapman to help them get back on their feet within 3 to 4 months. Really, that's the focus. Building a pathway for client success through their CP Works program. So again, we got a lot of doctors donating their time. Can't thank the mental health doctors, the dentists that donate their time. The goal is to get these families. Half the people staying in our 2 facilities are families. And it's about helping them find a job, helping them find a place to live, helping them get back out on their feet into normal life, man. Join me here at WQM to show support to one of my favorite charities, really making a difference in our community through workforce development. Has been just fantastic. Now, I want to say this. Bam Adebayo, thank you, man. Nobody's done more for Chapman Partnership than Bam Adebayo. This man is unbelievable. Any level of support really can make an impact and help so many people. More and more people are coming to Chapman Partnership. We really need your help. We need your help. Money, you can donate your time. You can really make a difference. You want to get involved in a really good charity. It's fantastic. Let's help support families and individuals overcoming homelessness at Chapman here in 2026. Go online to chapmanpartnership.org. Thank you.
Series winner, Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Miami, we go to the beach for a little solcito when we want a low price. You save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai. Jordan Alvarez's 8th inning 3-run home run was enough to lift the Astros past the Marlins 5-2, handing the Fish their 9th loss in a row. They're back in action tomorrow at 7:10 against the Padres. Inter Miami back in MLS action, defeating the Chicago Fire at 3-2 without Lionel Messi and Rodrigo De Paul, who are resting from the World Cup. Fanside.com released its list of top 50 NFL players. Only Dolphin to make the list. Linebacker Jordan Brooks at 49. And former Canes QB Carson Beck has signed a rookie deal with the Cardinals. He's in a three-way QB battle with Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Storm season is coming. Make sure your home is ready. Get your free roof and window estimate today. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Temperatures around 90 with a chance of rain around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Welcome back here for the 9 o'clock hour as we continue. I hate to do this because I know a lot of people on the Don McNeil thing, but Mac is special, but he was one hell of a player. Well, you know, we were talking about back then. You made some great points. We were just talking during the break about first-round picks, and I put a lot on. I think they're really important. We're looking for guys that are special when they're at the top of the draft. We just are. And honestly, we haven't had a lot.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about how good Mac was from day one, but we're a little slower because his roster size is different now. But I still expect number ones to come in, and we got 2 of them. And you know, I expect a lot out of both those guys. That they're going to be good players.
Well, then you go back kind of where things started getting a little haywire with this team when you had the Tua pick, the Austin Jackson pick, and the Noah Inbenogany. That first round, you know, I mean, you know, you thought it was going to be good, but it really was like with the dismantling of what this team was, because it was basically a waste of a first round. And look, you can, you know, obviously Austin Jackson's still here, but the amount of plays he's missed over the last couple seasons, you still kind of, you know, it kind of put the damper on that draft. And look how far it puts you back.
They've had what we would term, looking back, one good draft since Jimmy Johnson left. Since, you know, 97, probably his draft. They've had one good draft. That was 2016. Laramie Tunsil, Xavier Howard,
Kenyon Drake, and Jakeem Grant.
Yeah.
But you look at the drafts other than that, and I mean, they've had good player here and there, but as far as
we haven't done a good enough job starting with the draft before you get in the GM and the head coach, and he's not coaching them, and the GM's not getting the right guys. We just our drafts have not been good enough.
Yeah. That's why they had 13 guys, 13 draft picks, the biggest draft class since 97. And
is it really?
Yeah, and you got 6 in the top 94. So this is a chance to show things are different right from the start.
It is. I mean, you know, the draft choices are, you know, they've got to play big. I mean, it's and like you said, Joe, early on, the opportunity. Well, you couldn't have a better opportunity.
No,
if you're one of these draft picks right now,
you couldn't,
because first of all, you're going to be on the team. I mean, because they're going to from a salary standpoint, you know, you keep all those guys on the team, and you know, and gives you an opportunity, a little flexibility in your contract status. But it's giving you an opportunity to play and show somebody that, hey, you know what? Even if you're the guy that was drafted in the 6th round or 7th round, that you made a mistake. And I'm I mean, how many times? There's plenty of times that we've seen, not only this team but every team, where these guys come out of nowhere,
right,
and turn out to be
4s, 5s, 6s have worked. There's been guys drafted all over the place that people are just wrong about, or got into a great system and it really fit their style. But if you're a rookie free agent, and they got a bunch of them too, and this is going to be a great opportunity. I expect, listen, we seem to keep 2 rookie free agents on average per year in the 53. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 3+ this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
If 3 guys play really well, they're going to go, well, there are rookie free agents, and let's go ahead and take those and put a couple draft picks on the practice squad. And by the way, the practice squad, outside of taking a cut and pay for most of these guys coming from college to the pros, the practice squad guys still going to make a couple $100,000, and most of them are going to get called up after injury. A lot of them are going to get called up to the 53-man roster.
You hope the perfect snenario going into this training camp is you've got a lot of youth and develop the youth, but how big of a lift would it be if Malik Willis turns out to be the guy that you want him to be?
That'd take care of
I mean that would take care of a lot of ills on this football team. And look, it's going to be hard to do with a limited when you start looking at the outside receivings. The receivers out there, but hey, who knows?
But I'll tell the story that a couple years ago I walked into the Orange Bowl game, walked in there, and the New England Patriots were awful, right?
Yeah,
2 years ago they won 4 games.
That was a terrible roster.
And I walk in the Orange Bowl, and there's Alonzo Highsmith, who's in the front office of the Patriots, and said hi, and he's talking about things, and he goes, okay, the Patriots, we know we have one thing. We know we have our quarterback.
Yeah.
That's what you need to say about Malik. And look, John Eric Sullivan and Hafley, they invested in the guy they know.
Yeah.
And they know they're on this isn't like we're going to take a flyer on them. No, they put good money in them. And look, if it doesn't work out, they're going to have a high pick next year. But the idea is they're expecting it to work out.
So not only they invest in him, and if he becomes the guy, that takes that takes a burden off of the next draft having to draft another quarterback, because if you got your guy, you can even though some of you have an opportunity to fill some of those. Wide receiver heavy next year, whatever. But if you got that quarterback, and if you don't, you find out that he's not the guy that you want. Now all of a sudden that comes into play. Free agency, and it just it would solve a lot of ills if he's the guy that we all expect him to be or hope that he is.
I agree. By the way, Drake May, that first year that we're talking about, 15 touchdowns, 10 picks, 13 games. But they knew.
But you knew. You just watched the games, you knew.
I remember Jimmy Cephalon and I talking at halftime and go, you know what? He got nothing. He's got a terrible offensive line. They had a couple guys hurt too. They were really bad. Had nobody to throw to on the outside. He was just throwing to his tight ends. He had 2 good tight ends. And I said, man, and a real good running back that had a good game. But I said, he's got no one. And Tyler Shuck, I put in that same category. I saw Tyler Shuck for the Saints come down here, rookie year, 10 touchdowns, 6 picks. And I go, they got their guy. But what? So he only played 11 games last year. And, he's going in this camp. He's a guy now. With the Saints. They think they got the guy too, and he's 25-year-old quarterback out of Louisville. But we need to find out, and people need, like Malik's. I don't see Malik throwing for 26, 27 touchdowns and 5 or 6 interceptions.
I don't think he has the personnel to
No, I agree.
No.
Just not there.
Look, that's going to be that's going to be, unless some of these guys, just jump out of their socks on the outside. This is going to be an inside passing game,
right?
Receivers, tight ends,
a lot of Dulcich,
and hopefully that offensive line can give you some ability to open up running lanes.
I was going to say, I think they're going to be running the ball a lot.
I agree with that a lot. Yeah, and they should be able to with the size that they're going to have on that line.
I think Greg Dulcich, by the way, if you're looking at one guy, and they saw it right away because the first guy they brought back.
Yeah.
Greg Dulcich, you need a new contract. Come here. We saw what you did in that short period of time because Tua's getting rid of the ball. We had a short passing game. He's going to Dulcich. He got there for a while. Dulcich was his number one guy when he got down and they were banged up. Dulcich was the guy that they were throwing to. And I think the front office saw that and the coaching staff. And we saw it in camp every day at OTAs and mini camps. I think Dulcich could, if he stays healthy, he catch 60, 70 plus balls.
But you're not going to win a lot of games when your tight end's your leading receiver, right?
You're not going to win a lot of games this year. I
get that, but I mean,
I know.
And maybe, and this is, I know the fans don't want to hear this, but maybe winning a game is is having some guy that pop out to play that said, hey, he's going to be pretty good. You know, we win the game, but this guy played pretty well, and he may be some guy for the future. That may be what you kind of hope for in these games, which is really kind of where we're at.
That's why I say they're like the Patriots 2 years ago, where they're not going to win a lot, but they can come out of it saying, we got this, we got a quarterback to build on, we got
so let me ask you this about the Patriots.
They got a real good team.
So yeah, but
again,
so you think they're a 10-11 win team?
They're not going to win as many games last year because they got a tougher
schedule.
But they should win 11 or 12 games.
Yeah.
Are you going to be surprised if they go 11-6?
No.
12-5?
All I know is they're
really good on both
sides.
They're
in contention.
But I'm going to tell you something. You know what? That freaking stinks. That freaking stinks.
How many times they've rebuilt?
They built that. You know, they go through whatever. They go to 1,000 Super Bowls, and then they get down for
2 years off.
Then they get 2 years off, and they're back in again.
Yeah.
You know.
By the way, they won 3 playoff games last year.
Yeah.
I'm not going through the whole thing here, but I'm just saying they won 3 playoff games.
And they redid the whole organization.
Yeah.
Not just the roster this time, as they did a few times under Belichick. They redid the whole organization.
They cleaned Bill's mess up that nobody wants to say.
Yeah, but they stepped into a little bit of a mess. The head coach stepped into a little mess of his own.
Oh, no, he did. He had a very interesting offseason because nobody's talking about the Patriots football team there for a few months.
Maybe it's something about that New England organization with the
I knew that was coming.
Coaches and players and the girls that are around them, right?
The owner.
Belichick he's got a younger, they're in that,
That's why the owner goes, hey, this is not a big deal. We'll be fine. Not a big deal. We're fine.
I'll let you use my lawyer on that one.
Right. Call my guy. Hey, I'll take care of it. We'll get you out of this. We can take care of this PR mess, get the whole thing done. Hey, that's Kim Bocamper. Dave Hyde's with us as well as talk a little bit about the Dolphins. And we're all waiting on LeBron James to see what LeBron's going to do. But I tell you, Bam and Giannis would love to see you. Spo, Pat Riley, the whole gang, Nick, Mickey, and all the other guys would love to see you down here, LeBron. We got great golf courses. It was a little bit of I'm guessing the wife finally said, screw that. We're going out there to Miami.
I think there's open tee times right now for LeBron. If he would just
anywhere,
if the plane comes in, the plane lands, go play a little golf. And
you got any open memberships up where you're playing, Bo?
He don't want to come up there. He wants to stay down here. He wants to stay down here.
What course do you have real nice? Lagorce?
Lagorce is nice.
What else?
Riviera is nice.
Biltmore?
No, he's not going to Biltmore.
Biltmore, they said they put a lot of money. They're trying to get a senior event out there.
But it's a public course.
Oh, hey.
So he'll go to Riviera. No. He wouldn't,
it's got to be private. LeBron ain't playing on some public. He's not going to Key Biscayne.
There's another. He'll go to Indian Creek. Play at Indian Creek.
There you go. Right.
He'll be out there a lot. I forgot. Billionaire Bunkers got. I didn't know they had that. I forgot that.
Yeah, no. I'd say that's a.
We played the golf tournament. Shoes had his golf tournament out there. He's playing with Raymond Floyd. I go, what the hell? That's Raymond Floyd. He goes, he's
his next door neighbor.
His next door neighbor, and he goes, and they always win the tournament. I go, Ray's actually playing, and we're all hacking around, hitting grounders.
So he always used to have his tournament. Shula always used to have his tournament for a long time. It was at Miami Lakes. Remember that tournament at Miami Lakes?
Yeah, did we have to play or we just?
No, I think you had to. It was
highly recommended.
It was you don't have to play.
I sucked and I played.
You don't have to play, but you probably should.
Yeah,
right. It was one of those.
I was put on. I played that tournament with Shula,
right?
Jeb Bush, me, and David Younts, a big developer.
Yeah,
and I was like, what am I doing on that? And I get up and there's a big crowd and I'm thinking these people are taking their life in their hands.
She's got Raymond Floyd playing with them.
So every time I play, I play. He played there. And I played there a number of times. I mean, however many times he had it, and so it would be him and Dick Anderson. I always have Dick.
Oh, Dick Anderson, scratch golfer, great.
Dick, and then one time he had Raymond Floyd, and he had some other good golfer. So he always won.
Oh yeah, he wanted to win his tournament.
He didn't win the year I was on.
So there's a number of times where I would do like when the game thing was over, I'd do the
MC the
present
whole deal.
do the MC thing and do the thing, and Coach Shula's team won 3 years in a row, 4 years in a row because he always had Dick and good golfers. And I go, Coach, here you go. You get another one of these plastic dolphin helmets with a lamp on it for to win for winning the tournament. So don't you think you have enough of those? Well, Dorothy can always use another one,
This gets to my point that my crusade, you think he played a playoff bowl and considered it meaningless, right?
He wanted to win everything.
He wanted to win everything.
By the way, I'll tell you one thing nobody talked. He wanted to win preseason games. He thought it was important to win.
Yes, he did.
He wanted to win preseason games. He thought it was important to go undefeated in preseason because he thought that would get you going into the regular season.
No, he was all
Meanwhile, everybody else was resting guys, and he treated them like.
So from the beginning of preseason, Joe,
now you know why we're such hard asses.
So beginning of preseason to the end of of the football season, no matter how many games we won or lost, did you ever leave the when we looked at film study, did you ever leave that room with feeling good about yourself?
Never.
Whether you won or lost?
Never.
Kicks line to Zonkas as they're walking out of film room is, I thought we won that game.
That's exactly
That's exactly. There were a lot of guys walking out, and by the way, I know a few years ago, remember the guys were all whining about Brian Flores not talking to guys, and I know Bo and I were like, we got our ass kicked. He didn't talk to us either. Like, what was it? What are you in a good mood about? Did you see the way you played? Like he would say stuff and oh man, this good morning, coach, and small building. Everybody saw everybody, and we got guys whining on our friggin' team that he's not. That Brian Flores wasn't very nice to him. I go, yeah, man. These coaches don't like to lose. Anyway, we got to go to break, man. We got a lot more to get to. South Florida Chevy dealers. We got to get to them every day of the week, man, because they got some great products we want to tell you about. The truck family, hello there, South Florida Chevy dealer trucks, man. Colorado custom to the ZR2. We got that. Then right over to Chevy Silverado with so many to choose from the custom Trail Boss of the Silverado EV with 10 models and 4 powerful engine choices. Silverado delivers an impressive balance of strength, dependability, and efficiency. So what is it you're looking for? Maybe it's a Chevy Silverado HD. Maybe it's that powerful LTZ with that premium style and substance to match, or you can go to the big boy, the biggest, with the Chevy Silverado HD High Country. Whatever it is you're looking for, we got a truck. We got a truck custom made for your lifestyle. For the best of Florida trucks, stop by your South Florida Chevy dealers. We got a truck for you. We got a great deal. Take a test drive. Visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers today. Together, man, let's drive.
The Joe Rose Show is presented by Loctite.
All right, welcome back, and good morning, everybody. Kim Bocamper in the house with us. Dave Hyde in here all day. Dan Day filling in for Woody, who's on vacation. And Jamie's back there getting ready for this Marlins 6-game homestand coming up and doing all our social media stuff.
Where did Woody go to vacation? The National Trading Card Show?
You know what? I think the wife told him no more trading card shows.
In Albuquerque, New Mexico or somewhere like that?
He is funny. I got to tell you, he's really into that stuff, man.
I heard him talk about it, collecting stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought
he does go and he goofs around. Like, he's got a couple pretty good cards. Not the big boys that we talk about here where they're going for $8 million and stuff. But he's aware of everybody's, like, he sees something, he knows the value.
Yeah. I brought Jamie and Keyline. Maybe I should bring Woody in my shoebox full of old baseball cards.
So we had a guy in the back here. A sales guy goes, "Hey, I just got some old cards from my mom and dad, and I have them." And so Woody apparently told the guy to bring them in. So I'm leaving one day. They're in the parking lot. In this parking lot, he put the back down of the guy's truck so they could look in the back of a Blazer.
And going through all the cards?
Going through every card, and he was telling them what they are worth. And I go, "Woody, are you getting a piece of this?"
Yeah.
And the guy goes, "Well, he said, maybe I could have some." I said, "Well, did you lie to him? Did you tell him the truth about the value?" But he knows all that stuff, man. He's
that rookie Dan Marino card, that thing's worthless. I'll take it off your hands.
You don't need that. Oh, you got the Marino rookie? Yeah, that thing's not. It has no value to it. Too many. But boy, Woody hears a name, he goes right to that guy's card's worth so much. Is it a rookie card? Oh, it's great. Anyway, hey, we're just talking in the back here. It's funny when you go through and now everybody's in for the day and everybody's talking, and they heard us talking about Caden Proctor earlier, and man, I wish we had Ruben Bain, because we need a pass rusher. And I go, well, we do, but we need a lot. And I realize that for Canes fans that are Dolphin fans, and there's a lot of crossover down here, Caden Proctor, people are going to watch how his career goes compared to Ruben Bain. No, it's just going to be, because there's a lot of disappointment at the party I was at in Fort Lauderdale. I heard it was really bad down in Miami.
Yeah.
And
well, look, you had the two in the Justin Herbert, right?
The Waddle and the Panay Sewell.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't lose these coin flip. It wasn't a coin flip.
Yeah, but those two picks they're all next to each other. Were they all
right
close
beside each other?
Yeah.
So but it could be both these guys are good. They both really look like they'll be good, don't they? Don't you think Bain?
I think Ruben's going to be really good. Yeah. I think Ruben is built to be a really good
I think he's got the I think his makeup, his mental makeup, he wants to be.
I got to tell you, he was pissed he didn't get drafted by the Dolphins.
I was going to say, if he ever needed any more motivation, he probably
wasn't mad that he got drafted where he got
no.
high. He was mad because he's sitting there, his family's sitting there. They're all in Miami sitting there after the career he just had with University of Miami, 3 and out. And he knew, and he wanted to stay home. Yeah. And that was all. I saw that look on his face.
Well, you see, he grabbed that hat when he was walking by there. He didn't even just like all the other guys were, just grabbed it and,
Yeah.
And look, I mean,
He's pissed.
I've read a lot of stuff, when they're mini camps or when they're he's not a happy guy about. I mean, look, he's great where he's at, happy where he's at, like you said.
For him with Todd Bowles,
but he's got a bone to pick, and sometimes those guys.
But you got to do what Mike did. Mike just said, "Okay, I said all the right things when I had 2, and now I got the guy I would have taken. Just now I get to coach him."
Right.
This is the best quarterback I've ever had.
Ever had.
Right.
It's nice to have a big, strong, strong-armed, big-bodied quarterback and immobile. I haven't had this before.
Oh, Chris made a bad choice on that one.
Right. I had nothing to do with that one. I did what I could. But now I got the other guy. So yeah, this whole thing but hey man, it's gonna be fun. I know how everybody feels, and I know the patience is, and Bo, I'm glad you said it when you got in here this morning. There's no patience, and I get it.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna ask everybody to be patient. I get it, But one thing you will notice and be able to say after this year is, hey, Didn't have a great year, but the GM went out and got some good young players, man. They got some guys that can play.
That's what I'm writing on my Substack for today.
Okay.
This is a rare opportunity to show something's changed.
Yeah.
Because big draft class, lot top heavy. You're drafting guys to, that for a new culture and so do they do the same old thing, or have they set a new course for this? And you can get Substack, just Google my name, go to the Substack app if you want, and you plug in your email.
Pick up your phone, go to your app store, you look up Substack, you download it like I did.
Both did it. It's that easy.
And then you search Dave Hyde, you put it in there, and then let all the other wannabes jump on.
The great thing about it, you get the columns emailed to you.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have to go searching through. I mean, who goes to newspapers
anymore? If I can figure
anymore?
it out, well,
does anybody go to newspapers anymore? I don't. But
I
get your where you used to be on Sunday.
I don't read that anymore.
Yeah, that's become a rag.
Screw that paper. Screw that paper.
But
I'm done.
I read 3 or 4 newspapers a day. I still do, but I read them on my Kindle. I mean, on my my iPad or whatever.
I'm not so you're telling me Mary had nothing to do with getting that connected for you. You did it on your
No, I did on the
Substack. See, that's why I said it's that easy that Bo can do it, right?
It is. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And it was no issue.
Yeah, I still read newspapers, but I read them on my phone now as opposed to.
Well, so I did a little thing this year, and then I went and bought an actual newspaper, to do a little thing, and Sun Sentinel. $4.50.
I was going to say, I got a call. I'm driving out to Dolphin camp. Listen,
$4.50.
You won't believe this. I'm driving out to Dolphin camp, and somebody's father died, and someone of the Dolphins, hey, can you pick up a few papers for? Sure, no problem. So I pulled into like a 7-Eleven. They don't sell papers.
No.
I pulled into another store. No, so I had to call the paper. Hey, where do we sell the papers? They said the grocery store to go to. I went there. $2.50 for like a what? It was like what?
So I went. It wasn't like a 7. It was like a Quick Stop. I think it's just called a Quick Stop, and right around my house. And I picked up the paper, and I got 50 cents in my hand. That'll be $4.50.
This isn't 1992 anymore.
This is a good chance for you to rip your former paper.
Yeah, I don't even the paper that won't be named. I don't even name that place anymore, Joe.
Hey, I'm waiting to see if Ryan Clark's been kind of playing nice since letting.
Yeah, you got to blow up at some point.
At some point, you got to be Ryan Clark. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen on the pivot.
He's saving it for his podcast.
And then you got
Channing's.
I mean, you get fired in the middle of a show.
Channing's not letting it go.
Different. That's
Channing's
different.
not going to let it go.
Then you got Stephen A. on ESPN flaming the embers at that thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the 3 guys making all the money there are the ones getting all the now we can't keep all these guys because of McAfee, because of Stephen A. Smith and Greeny over there. They're making all the money. They're going, no, it's not. Hey man, that's it's not us. We're also paying a lot for all these teams, and
that's why they said they let me go, because I was making all the money. Wait, which one is it?
Hey. I got to tell you, man, you're a class act. Bo and I would not have been that nice, probably.
I can't win if I'm bitter. I can't win. By being mad.
No, you're a nice guy. You really are a nice guy. You've been vicious on some, articles you've written through the years, but you're a really nice, good guy. There's no question. Hey, we got to go to break here, man. We've absolutely destroyed this 9:00 hour with it.
So when's the Dave Hyde podcast coming on?
I don't know. I gotta find the right partner for that one. That's what I'm looking around.
You want in the rotation?
Yeah, I hear all this. I hear all this easy money being made.
Well, all right. Listen, we're gonna go to break here. We got a lot more. Kim Bocamper with us. Dave Hyde. We'll be right back.
WQAM.
And welcome back, and good morning to everybody as we continue. We haven't talked much about this, but see, Tyreek Hill workouts. He's come a long way, man. I got to give him credit because that thing was in bad shape. That thing was in, I don't know if we'll ever know how bad it was for those guys to get down and a long surgery and a lot of damage. But he's actually, his social media stuff that he sent out. You see that? He's come a long way. Man, I don't know if he plays again, Bo. I think he's still got a ways to go, and the season's getting ready to start. But I
don't know who's knocking on his door either.
Well, yeah.
You know, so I mean, he looks fit.
Well, he's in great shape physically.
You know, talking to the dog, that was a horrendous. I mean, he was literally on the table before the game was over. They took him down to Doctor's Hospital, I think in Miami or wherever they did it. And just got to work on him, like literally while the game is still on. So they got it fresh, but evidently, I mean, everything that could have been torn in there, and then you have the dislocation, and so you know, you wonder for a guy who relies on speed, cutting, agility, all those things. It's it's
a tough road still ahead.
Yeah.
And I see everybody getting lathered up, because they're gonna watch him run, and they're going, "Oh man, he's getting closer."
Yeah, but you to put that stress on a knee after something like that.
No, I agree. Well, he's quoted saying he has no power in his left leg.
Yeah,
and that the doctor said he might not be able to walk again after the surgery.
Well, so you remember, Joe? You remember back early in our career, if you had an ACL. You know, if you had an ACL, you were done.
With our doctor, you had no shot.
No, I mean across the league.
Dick Anderson's career ended in Pro Bowl.
Across the league. If you, so I remember Tommy Vigorito.
Yeah,
so we had a number of players. So back then we didn't have that many. I mean,
it's funny. Andre Franklin too.
They're getting a lot more. They're getting a lot more now.
Yeah.
Than we did, but they've gotten better at repairing them. But for when we were playing. You got an ACL. It was going to be a 2-year rehab, and you knew he wasn't coming back. You were dead. You were dead man walking.
I didn't know if that was just. You know what? I'm being serious. I'm not trying to be a smart ass.
No,
I didn't know if that was just our team or if that was around the country.
It was around the country.
I know here you had no shot to come back.
It was everywhere. It was everywhere. You just couldn't.
He couldn't pass that up.
No, that's all right. But it was. I mean, it was you real literally
guys running for help.
You knew, and they'd come back, and they just didn't have the explosiveness or whatever they needed.
That's true.
But now guys 6-7
months sometimes coming back.
Yeah.
We got one guy we're waiting on that's really important to this team. A wide receiver that we're hoping we get to see in November, December, and
so but going back to Tyreek, I don't see how. I don't see. I'm looking.
I know you're not a doctor, and I'm not a doctor either, but I don't see him playing this year either.
Yeah. The point when he puts out a video, he says, "I have no power in my left leg." I mean, obviously there's.
But he's come a long way for where he is.
I mean, that's what he's talking about. He's come a long way, but it sounds like there's still
a
long way to go.
There's still a little bit. Yeah, there's.
Hey, man,
they got to top off that tank.
Now that he's gone, I always say this: the guy that played on the football field. You can't have enough of those guys.
Yeah.
You want a whole bunch of those guys. Love to play, love to dominate. Some of the greatest camp guys I've ever seen. He'll be right there at the top of the list.
So
it was just when he left.
So there's two, and I'm just going to put categories in my terms as knuckleheads that I've seen like that. Tyreek certainly one of them.
He had some knucklehead.
Knucklehead in him.
Knucklehead's not bad. I got nuts. It's a soft word.
Knucklehead. I mean, so but again,
who else you putting on that
all
list?
These wide receivers are mostly knuckleheads. All the knucklehead stuff comes out of the wide receiver.
Let me hear who else you want to put on knucklehead list. You're on a roll.
But again, so Tyreek, to me, but when he played on the field, he was all about business. He was all about playing. He gave you 100%. Every time. The other guy was Ricky Williams. I know you like Ricky a lot, and to me, Ricky was a little bit of a knucklehead. But I remember, and I remember watching. We were in Green Bay at Lambeau Field. It may have been that time I was trying to get people to pay me to eat like 10 bratwurst before the game.
Oh, I remember that one. Oh my God,
I do remember that.
But anyway,
we put the money on the table and you would not eat.
So I'm watching I'm watching the game, and Ricky's in, and we're going in to score, and Ricky's in the far side of the end zone in running a route.
Yeah.
And the quarterback throws to whoever, and they picked it off and ran it back. And the guy ran it like a 99-yard touchdown.
Right.
But so I'm looking at Ricky. Ricky just put his head down and made a dead sprint, trying to get to the. And I just said that, that's a guy that wants to play.
Ricky, when he was on that football field, he gave you
everything.
Everything.
But I wouldn't put Ricky in the same category as Tyreek. Both great players,
but different kind of knuckleheads.
So where do you put Brandon Marshall?
Kind of knucklehead.
Big knucklehead.
You put big in front of the knucklehead.
Yeah. So Brandon Marshall was on like 5 different teams.
You just got to get him going.
But to me, Brandon Marshall and Tyreek Hill would destroy the culture of your team.
Yes.
That was different.
Yeah, not Ricky. But Brandon Marshall, he was with like 5 different teams, always the best receiver on the team, and most of the times one of the top 3 receivers in the league at the time. But no one was sad when they got rid of him. No one said, "Oh, I wish we had him back." Right? Nobody.
And see, I would say that about Tyreek. Great player, but you cannot basically make that trade in retrospect for a guy who's going to cause all these problems inside your team.
Yeah.
You just can't do that.
Yeah.
This is we just get him going. I try to keep a straight face. I can just bring some guys off because Bo's down on the sideline with all the knuckleheads. Oh man. Hey guys, this has been fun, man. Bo, thank you. Dave, thanks, man. Had such a good time. I'm going to come back in, do it again tomorrow.
Nothing wrong with being a knucklehead. I think I'm a knucklehead. I know Joe's a knucklehead.
There were a lot of knuckleheads when we played too, man. There were some bad knuckleheads. There's no question about it. Hey, that's going to do it for the show. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow morning.